And for those of you just joining us from the Phillies-Brewers game, welcome to Los Angeles for Game 3 of the Division Series between the Dodgers and the Cubs. I'm Dick Stockton along with Ron Darling, Tony Gwynn, and Tom Verducci. The Brewers win their first game of the series 4-1. And right here, there are 2 out and a runner at second base. And the pitch is outside. Close call, 1-2 to Aramis Ramirez. Kuroda's 33 years old from Hiroshima, Japan. 9-10 in the regular season. And trying to dispose of Ramirez to end the first. Foul ball off the barrier in front of the Dodger dugout.
Well, when you watch Kuroda, he's the kind of guy that has a two-seam fastball in, a cutter, and a good slider and change. But the key for him against this right-handed hitting lineup of the Chicago Cubs is that fastball sinking two-seamer inside to the righties that ties hitters like Ramirez up.
Yeah, and it gets them looking for that ball inside, and that makes that slider a whole lot better.
Crowd is really tuned in big time tonight. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Ramirez. Lee with the lead at second. And there it is, trying to get on the outside to see if he'll chase. He doesn't. And the count is level at 2-2.
Well, when you look at the home plate umpire, well, Kuroda was, he thought that was a strike. You can see on pitch tracks, not even close. Good call by Jeff Nelson, home plate umpire.
So here's Kuroda, 33 years old, 12 years a pro, and his first postseason action in any league. And time called at the plate.
Saw that graphic, 18 first inning runs and 31 starts. That's not a good number. You want that to be maybe in single digits, maybe the most 10 runs or so.
Two-two pitch. And the count full, 3-2. So Kuroda was ahead of Ramirez on the count. Now the count's gone full with Giovanni Soto waiting to hit if Ramirez can keep the inning going.
You know, that's interesting, isn't it? Even if he doesn't get a hit, Tony, this is a good at-bat by Ramirez.
And that's what you need. You need to put them together. Get the pitch count up.
Good lead by Lee at second. The 3-2 pitch, high ball 4. And so Ramirez walks. A good at-bat by Aramis Ramirez. And the Cubs now with runners at first and second. 2 down for Giovanni Soto, who has managed just 1 hit in this series.
And I think he's been the hitter of all the hitters in the Cubs lineup that, of course, you're going to expect this in his rookie year, but has been the least patient. One swinging mostly out of the strike zone.
On the outside corner for a strike. Good pitch by Kuroda, who retired the first 2 hitters this inning on ground balls. Lee then doubled off the right field wall, and Ramirez drawing a walk. 0-1 to Soto. And a broken back ground ball to Blake at third, and Soto's retired to end the threat. 1 hit, and the Cubs lead 2, and the Dodgers coming up in the first inning, no score.
Yo, the postseason on TBS means one thing and one thing only. Lots of tail.
Hey, I'm sorry, it doesn't mean that at all.
Frank TV, Tuesdays, starting October 21st.
Only on TBS. Very funny.
MLB postseason on TBS is presented in HD with 5.1 Dolby Digital Surround Sound. Brought to you by DirecTV, the best way to watch sports in HD. This is MLB postseason on TBS in high definition.
Check it out, gang. Just got that new T-Mobile family plan. Now we can talk to our friends and family all we want.
Like Vivian.
Yeah.
And Skinny Pete.
And you could call that lady at my soccer games you always stare at.
And I can call Derek.
Derek with the mustache and Mustang Derek?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's weird. There's a no Derek's with mustaches clause. It's in the fine print. Oh, what a drag, dude.
T-Mobile's unlimited family plan. Unlimited calling and messaging for a price that's hard to believe.
Sometimes you need a little push to let go of your Mach 3 razor until you discover Gillette Fusion. 5 blades spaced closer together with less irritation. Switch to Gillette Fusion.
How do you want to see the game? You want to be closer? Well, this is no ordinary ticket. This is your ticket to baseball heaven in high definition. Sharp Aqua's the official HD TV of Major League Baseball. And with a blazing 4-millisecond response time and a super fast refresh rate, there isn't a shot in the hole or a screamer down the line that won't singe the hair in your nostrils. It will change your baseball-loving life.
Aqua's LCD TV. Change your TV, change your life. Sharp.
Close the office today, AJB?
Yeah, right. Watch this.
Bob Johnson.
Johnson, where's the shipment from Shanghai?
DHL cleared customs in the air and is scheduled to arrive at noon.
All right.
What about New Haven?
Left New York at 8:11 a.m. and is currently on a truck.
Johnson?
Sir?
Get tracking information sent to you anytime, anywhere. DHL. Ground, international, overnight. Customer service is back in shipping.
Dodgers coming up in the bottom of the first inning. Rafael Furcal, and let's bring you up to date on their lineups. Furcal, the switch hitting shortstop. Russell Martin will be behind the plate hitting second. Manny Ramirez with 2 homers in the first 2 games hitting third. Andre Ethier, the cleanup hitter. James Loney hit a grand slam in game 1. Matt Kemp will be batting 6th. Blake DeWitt will hit 7th. Casey Blake batting 8th. And Hiroki Kuroda batting 9th, facing Rich Harden, the right-hander, and pretty consistent everywhere he played this year.
Well, yeah, 5-1 in Oakland, 5-1 here with the Cubs.
And Furcal running up to bunt takes ball 1. So Rich Harden from Victoria, British Columbia. So that makes 2 British Columbia pitchers. Dempster also from the same province. Pitched the first game, and a pop-up to the left side of the infield. Aramis Ramirez makes the catch for the first out. Well, Tom Verducci, the question for Rich Harden is, how does he start the game?
Yeah, keep an eye on the velocity. It's a big key. You know, down the stretch, he was sort of like a car engine on a cold Chicago morning. It took a while to get going. In fact, his last start, he came out throwing 86 to 88. By the 3rd or 4th inning, he was where he should be, 92, 93, touching 94. Pitcher coach Larry Rothschild was concerned about a slow start, so he extended his warm-up session, try to get him to peak velocity earlier tonight.
Rich Harden has never faced the Dodgers in his career, and the first pitch, a fastball to Russell Martin for a called strike. Martin 2 for 9, but a home run and a double, so he has 2 extra base hits. But last night he struck out 3 straight times, or the game number 2 in his last 3 at-bats. Another good fastball on the inside corner, 0-2.
And Harden is throwing hard here early. 5 times in his 12 starts with the Cubs, he struck out 10 or more. But that longer warm-up, will it play a part in the back part of the game, because he has been known as a 5 or 6 inning pitcher.
Career high 181 strikeouts for Harden in his 7th year. Ground ball, fair ball down the left field line, and it deflects off of the side, and they're going to call it a ground rule double down the line. And so Russell Martin now with 3 hits in the series, a homer and 2 doubles.
Nice hitting there by Russell Martin. Not really a bad pitch. He just pulls it right down the line. And this ball is in play. Umpires gave the signal that the ball is in play, so somebody has to come and get it. Ball goes over the bag.
It got caught right at the tarp, almost went into the tarp, but it did come out. So now here's Manny Ramirez. Martin on at second with 1 out. And they love Manny in Los Angeles. He has hit lights out since he joined the club on July 31st, takes a strike. Ramirez has hit 2 mammoth home runs in the first 2 games of the series, and 4 for 8 overall.
And the difference in the series to me is Dodgers have done a great job setting the table for the middle of their lineup. Cubs haven't.
Here's the 0-1 from Harden, and a ground ball in the hole past Theriot in the left field for a hit, and the throw to third base, safe at third. And Russell Martin, who had to hold up with the ball hit in front of him to Theriot, dives in, gets some dirt on his uniform, and Ramirez on it first and third.
Well, he saw the ball beat him, but he had to reach up and touched him on the shoulder. That hand just getting underneath the tag. But that is a bad base running play anyway by Martin.
Yeah, Martin went all the way back to the bag.
Looks like he should have been tagged out.
It looked like it was a play where they could have gotten an out, and then the reaction.
It's not bad enough that the Dodgers are playing great. They're also getting some good breaks. And here Ramirez got to keep his glove down, but see what he does? He brings the glove up to tag him up to the shoulder, right behind the shoulder blade, hand in time.
Looks like he had a play there. Lou Piniella going out to have a few words with the third base umpire, Jim Reynolds, and heading back into the dugout. So the Dodgers, with one out, have runners at the corners to Andre Ethier. 1 for 6 so far, has walked 4 times after hitting .305 in the regular season, and fouls it off for strike 1. So Martin is at third, and Manny Ramirez, who now has 5 hits in the series, on at first. Fastball. 0-2 now, as Harden is ahead of Ethier with James Loney on deck. And swings and misses for strike 3. Big strikeout for Rich Harden, getting Ethier with 1 out and a man at third.
Well, the thing about Rich Harden is if he gets ahead of you, he has so many weapons. He can throw the fastball up, the slider down and in, and that right there, the forkball down. Bottom just dropped out of that.
That's a great pitch right there by Harden.
So the Dodgers were looking for a possible fly ball at least to get a run in here. And now with 2 down, here's James Loney. Loney has 2 hits and 10 trips. One of them was a grand slam homer, and that put the Dodgers ahead to stay in game number 1. He's driven in 4 runs as time is called, as Harden was about ready to deliver the pitch.
Well, they had called time earlier. It's just that Harden was locked in and did not see the umpire, Jeff Nelson, step away from the plate.
Loney showing bunt, takes a strike. And of course, third baseman Ramirez was playing back deep, and now he's aware of that possibility.
You saw Furcal try to bunt on the first pitch. He took it for a ball. The thing about it is Harden really falls through to the first base side. That opens up that whole line down to third base.
Dodgers with runners at first and third, 2 down here in the bottom of the first. 1-1.
If this was a regular season game, you would be thinking as a starting pitcher, you know what, just get an out here. You know, if they get 1 run, that's all right. I've managed the inning well. But I don't know, the way the Cubs have been down 0-2, love to see him get a double play right here.
And as we saw in the graphic, Harden does not give up a lot of runs. 2 balls and a strike.
And from the Cubs standpoint, this could be the break that they're looking for. If he can get out of this inning without giving up a run after a couple of base hits and really catching a break on Russell Martin's bad base running, you know, maybe that's the thing that shifts the tide for the Cubs.
Well, the Dodgers have taken advantage of just about every opportunity they've had so far in the series, and they will here as well. A line drive will go into the corner, and Russell Martin will score, and Manny Ramirez is being waved in, and here is the throw to the plate. It's offline, and the Dodgers get 2 runs, and on at second base is James Loney with a double. 2-0, LA leads.
Slider down and in, right?
And it was up, and he whacked it in the corner, and gutsy call by Larry Bull at third base, waving Manny Ramirez, who was running hard the whole way.
Throw up the line. He's able to go around Giovanni Soto. 6 RBIs now for James Loney.
And this crowd on its feet. The only other time the Dodgers have ever swept in postseason, you have to go back to 1963 when the Dodgers swept the Yankees in the World Series in 4 straight. And they can sweep the Cubs in 3. First inning and 2 runs in, and here is Matt Kemp. Russell Martin coming in from third, and Manny Ramirez never stopped when he took off from first. First pitch, ball 1 to Kemp. Kemp has 2 hits, including a double and a run batted in the first 2 games of this series.
Yeah, that was great hitting by James Loney. Got a ball up and whacked it into the corner. How good a young hitter is he? Oh.
Fouled off, 1-1. So the Dodgers get to Rich Harden for 2 runs here in the first inning, and that was the worst case scenario for Lou Piniella, who wanted to see his team turn things around and take advantage.
But when you're trying to turn things around, the last thing you want to do is fall behind early. And that's exactly what's happened.
Good fastball and a strike, 1-2 to Matt Kemp. 6th batter to come up here in the first inning. Dodgers second to the Mets in first inning runs this season. Harden's 1-2 pitch in the air to center field. Jim Edmonds will gather under it, and that will do it. But the Dodgers score 2. James Loney with a 2-out double, putting the Dodgers in front 2-0 after 1.
Ridley Scott, rated R.
You deserve a meal made for men.
Introducing Taco Bell's Big Box Meal. A Crunch Wrap Supreme, Burrito Supreme, Cinnamon Twist, a large drink, and featuring the new Volcano Taco.
Eat like a man.
I got Eve.
Suck it, devil, rabbit.
Let's do this.
I'm almost there.
All right, you ready? Let's go.
Wow.
This is too weird.
Totally random.
They've got a little captain in them. Got a little captain in you.
Drink responsibly. So, how's my day look?
Well, 9:30 to 1, you send funny pics to your wife. From 1 to 1:15, texting your son throughout recess. 1:15 to 3, exchanging flicks with your daughter. 3 to 4, texting aimlessly to everyone. And at 4, a budget meeting. I can push the meeting to another day.
Let's go with that.
Okay.
Share more with your family with a Verizon Wireless Select Plan. Text, pics, IM, and flicks as much as you want for one flat rate. Get the Samsung Glide for just $79.99. Verizon Wireless.
Remember your first time watching TV with a DVR? There's nothing like it. TV on your schedule. Pure freedom. Well, we're taking that freedom to the next level with DirecTV's DVR Scheduler. DVR Scheduler is a cool new feature that lets you program your DVR from your computer or mobile device, no matter where you are. Let's say you're at work or on vacation, and you forgot to record your favorite show. Well, no big deal. With DVR Scheduler, you just go online, log on to directtv.com, and you're ready to go. You can browse the entire program guide, pick a show, click record, even choose which DVR you want to record to. Can't get to a computer? No problem. We've made it so simple, you can even schedule your DVR using your cell phone or PDA. So when you get home, your shows will be waiting for you, courtesy of DirecTV and DVR Scheduler. To learn even more, drop in anytime at directtv.com/DVR Scheduler.
Tonight's game is brought to you in high definition by DirecTV. deliver the most sports in HD. Great start for the Dodgers as they wrap out 3 hits and score 2 runs. And James Loney with 6 RBIs, and Manny Ramirez, an express train, going around the bases and scoring that second run. Jim Edmonds leading off for the Cubs and takes a strike. Edmonds is 2 for 7 and asked Jeff Nelson where that pitch was. And Edmonds, coming home, native of Fullerton, California, and was a graduate in the high school in the summer of '88 when the Dodgers won the World Series, the last time they have won a postseason series. 1 ball, 1 strike to Edmonds. He'll be followed by Mark DeRosa and Ryan Theriot. Pitch is outside. Kuroda was dominant against the Cubs this year. Gave up 1 run in 6 2/3 at Wrigley, and then 2 starts later pitched a 4-hit shutout, striking out 11, and it was the first shutout by a Dodger pitcher in 3 years. Ground ball rolled to DeWitt at second base. Edmonds is retired, 1 gone.
Well, you're right. They've been running with a purpose. The excited fans. And how about a 62-year-old third base coach? When do you see that kind of excitement from the very aggressive Boa sending Ramirez?
And Larry Boa, of course, you have to look ahead a little bit. What if the Dodgers were to play the Phillies and Larry Boa going against the team that he had managed? And perhaps didn't leave under the best of circumstances, Tony.
It just shows you, though, the emotion of these short series. I mean, you know, Larry Boa is a fiery competitor, but he can have some fun, too. It looks like he's having fun waving Manny around.
1-0 to DeRosa, 2 balls and no strikes. DeRosa playing right field after playing second base in the first 2 games of the series. And I guess the question will be, you know, how his strained calf can handle playing the outfield. That's a strike, and it's 2-1.
Well, sometimes when you're not hitting, it necessitates making a move. Yeah. Fukudome was not giving them any production, so you got to take a chance on having a little less in the outfield.
Yep. And DeRosa's really been their best offensive guy.
Swings and misses, and the count 2-2. DeRosa had a career high with 21 homers and 87 runs batted in. 4 for 8 in this series, including a home run and a fair ball behind third. Blake gets it, and there are 2 away. So far, all the outs are ground ball outs by Kuroda. And let's go back to June the 6th. It was the first complete game shutout of his major league career, and it couldn't have been done any better. No walks, 11 strikeouts, giving up only 4 hits. In fact, Kuroda, in getting that first Dodgers shutout in 3 years, struck out every batter in the Cubs starting lineup except Kosuke Fukudome. And of course, Fukudome not to be seen after playing the first 2 games. Lou Piniella public about his benching. And there's a good bunt by Theriot, but off the mound is Kuroda, and that'll do it. A 1-2-3 inning. Again, ground ball outs, and Kuroda alert like a cat off the mound. Middle of the second, 2-0.
Hey, Ernie Johnson here, answering your emails. Who's this year's MVP? That's debatable. Got a question you want my opinion on? Email my BlackBerry, then look for your answer during EJ's Mailbag presented by BlackBerry on TBS Hot Corner at MLB.com.
Quitting with Nicorette has never been cooler or brighter, thanks to the whitening power of new Nicorette White Ice Mint Gum, the stop-smoking gum that helps tackle cravings and whitens teeth as you use it. New Nicorette White Ice Mint. Experience a brighter...
It's the most heartwarming product placement movie of the year.
Rachel, you know what your problem is. You want everything. You want a husband, you want unlimited text, unlimited data, and unlimited calls.
Instinct, only from Sprint.
Someone got an email.
Featuring lightning-fast internet, voice-cued GPS navigation, and starring the Simply Everything plan from Sprint.
Why wouldn't I want everything for just $99.99 a month? Maybe you're afraid to be in love.
The new Samsung Instinct, only on the Now Network.
I think I'm falling in love. It's a challenge. For the phone.
Over the years,
Nobody's found.
there have been numerous strange occurrences.
No explanation.
The government has kept hidden from us.
We're in Los Angeles with the fire department.
But one of them
Tape everything, you hear me? Tape everything.
was recorded on film.
They won't let us out.
Everyone's been evacuated.
They're gonna let us die.
What the hell's going on? I am not authorized to tell you.
Quarantine. Rated R. Opens Friday.
Where can you find me? At the intersection of my new life and my new lifestyle. Driving. Wheatgrass?
Yeah, how was it?
Change the scenery? A State Farm agent will be there to help you get the right coverage at a great price.
You know that place where there's never a rain delay? I am so there.
Call, click, or visit and start saving today. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
What's this? It's wheatgrass. So what do you think of my screenplay?
So much good can come from a game. When I was younger, I was part of RBI, involving baseball in inner cities. It brings kids together, builds confidence, and creates opportunity. And a great program. Major League Baseball proudly supports RBI.
1, 2, 3, RBI!
Two managers who have known the ultimate success, world championships. Joe Torre, who won 4 with the Yankees, and Lou Piniella, who won 1 with the Cincinnati Reds back in 1990. And here in the bottom of the second inning, the bottom third of the order for the Dodgers, Blake DeWitt, second baseman, has 2 hits and 8 trips and a double, taking ball 1 from Rich Harden. Two balls and no strikes. DeWitt was the opening day third baseman for the Dodgers. And as the story goes, Joe Torre went to China on a split squad, came back, and his coaches said, "You've got a ball player here." As DeWitt fouls it off to the left and was sent down twice, once briefly and the other time to get efficient at the second base position.
Well, he had lost in one game. Nomar Garciaparra was going to be his third baseman. Then he lost Andy LaRoche, who was going to be his third baseman after that. So Double-A third string, Blake DeWitt got the call.
Gets jammed and pops it straight back out of play. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Blake DeWitt.
It's called cashing in on your opportunity. You never know when that opportunity is going to present itself, and got a chance to get in there and show Joe Torre and his staff that he can play this game.
There's Jeff Kent, who is going to be used as a pinch hitter in this series, as DeWitt has the second base position, but there are no hard feelings between Kent and DeWitt. As a matter of fact, Kent says, "I really like him a lot. He's not a superstar. He's a worker like me," and has been very supportive of what Blake DeWitt has done. Three-two pitch and a foul ball past the first base coach, Mariano Duncan. DeWitt will be followed by Casey Blake and the pitcher, Hiroki Kuroda.
Well, think about it this way, right, Tony and Dick? They have veterans on that bench, which makes their bench very strong, but sometimes it won't be strong if they're the kind of guys that'll chirp about not being in the lineup. You have Jeff Kent, you have Nomar Garciaparra, and Juan Pierre.
Yep. And it's taken a while for Joe Torre to know his team, and a lot of young players on it, many in their third year, and then some veterans, and to get back to know the National League where he started many years ago. But the one thing is he's kept a solid clubhouse.
Well, that's why I think it might be his best job since he's been managing. I mean,
good point. And a pop-up into short left field. Going out is Theriot, coming in Soriano, and it's Soriano with the catch. Well, it's an anniversary tonight, 53 years ago. Game 7 at Yankee Stadium, the 1955 World Series, and Johnny Podres, 23 years old, a complete game shutout, leading the Dodgers to their first World Championship. And the Dodgers had won 7 National League pennants, but 0 World Series titles. And there was the man who not only called that World Series, but many before that, nearing 60 years, incredibly, as the play-by-play voice of the Dodgers. Casey Blake, 1-0 the count with 1 out. And that's right over for the strike, 1-1.
You know, if I could, just to finish on Joe Torre, I mean, with a veteran group like he's got with these younger guys changing leagues to get his team where he's got them right now, one win away from winning, you know, getting through the first round and moving on to the championship series. That's a great job by that man right there.
Well, Tony, Joe Torre told his players, I didn't get into the postseason as a player, didn't get it even close. Don't think it's a sure thing you'll get another chance. So he has them focused for that. And a fly ball popped up, and Fontenot, the second baseman, handles it for the second out. And that will bring up the pitcher, Kuroda.
And to agree with you, Tony, I think that last season they had a big rift between the older veteran players, the younger players who are trying to show what kind of players they were. And that rift developed and was not good for the clubhouse. A guy like Joe Torre, he walks in, and that stuff all goes away.
He commands, you know, respect.
Here's Kuroda. Strike one, 8 for 54, and 2 runs batted in, a 148 average for him. Dodgers batting in the bottom of the second inning, leading 2-0, 2 outs, 1-1. Dodgers' home record was not that impressive in the regular year. In fact, they were tied with the Phillies for the worst among the division winners. But after the break, they were the best in the big leagues. And that's a ball. 2 balls and a strike. 23-9 after the All-Star game. In there for the strike, 2-2. And foul back on the screen. All the outfielders are playing shallow for Kuroda, and Edmonds in center field shaded around to the right, as you see.
Well, that's how you're going to play a guy who's 8 for 54 against a guy who throws 93 miles an hour.
Exactly.
Simple.
A little bit of an overmatch.
Yeah, Mark DeRosa should move a little closer to the line.
And that'll be strike 3, and a 1-2-3 inning for Rich Harden in the second. Cubs come up in the third inning, trailing by 2.
You know, I'm not trying to micromanage your finances, but I will tell you that my E-Trade savings account earns 8 times the national average. So, you know, it's funny. You know, I mean, the boys are talking about what to do with all this extra coin. I was like, I'm renting a clown. And I did. Got Bobo here. And I really underestimated the creepiness.
Earn 8 times the national average with max rate savings. There are 1,000 new accounts a day at E-Trade.
Hey, what kind of light beer do you want?
It doesn't matter. They're all the same.
Whoa, all the same? Are they all as easy to drink as Bud Light? Isn't water from this hose easier to drink than water from this one? Isn't this bottle easier to drink from than this one? And wouldn't you agree that a raindrop is easier to drink than hail? The point is, there's a difference, and Bud Light has it. It's called drinkability, the just right taste that makes Bud Light so easy to drink. Bud Light, the difference is drinkability.
They're here.
No, honey, they're not here. We forgot to switch to DirecTV. So instead of watching our favorite channels in HD, we're stuck watching cable. Forgetting to switch to DirecTV? Yeah, that's going to come back to haunt me.
Get 3 times more HD channels than cable. Call 1-800-DirecTV.
You're watching the Redskins run out the clock. Then you find out the Bears just punched it in for 6 and you missed it. With DirecTV, you're alerted anytime a team's about to score.
Every play inside the 20. NFL Sunday Ticket Superfan, only on DirecTV.
Colts, Packers, Cowboys, all playing Sunday. And you don't have the entire day to devote to quality gridiron time. If you had DirecTV, you could watch an entire game in 30 minutes.
NFL Sunday Ticket Superfan, only on DirecTV.
fasten your seatbelts for the high-octane adventure Speed Racer.
Cool beans.
Follow young Speed's quest for glory as he takes on fierce competitors.
Someone's trying to crush everything in my life that matters to me.
To save his family's business and protect the sport he loves.
Racing's the only thing I know how to do, and I gotta do something.
Speed Racer. Now available from DirecTV pay-per-view movies.
National League Division Series coverage on TBS is presented by BlackBerry. And a beautiful night for baseball here at Dodger Stadium. There was some rain this morning and overcast most of the day. But it's very calm now as Rich Harden swings and misses on the first pitch from Hiroki Kuroda for strike one. 2 for 23 is Harden since joining the Cubs. Pitches outside 1-1.
But you know, those are sporadic at bats, of course, because he's in the American League almost all of his career. He's a tough, you know, he's a good athlete and he can really run, Rich Harden.
1-1 pitch and a big bouncer to Blake to win. So all the outs have been ground outs by Kuroda. Harden is retired for out number 1. So here's Alfonso Soriano, and what a difference between the regular season and postseason. In the regular year, last 2 years, a .290 average, 62 home runs. He was a force in the leadoff spot for the Cubs because he missed 43 games this year, and he still had an outstanding year. But in postseason, just 3 for 23 last year against the D-backs, and so far in the series here. Bounce to third his first time up. Strike one to Soriano.
You know, I think the only problem you have, Tony, is that Alfonso Soriano is one of the most dangerous hitters you'll ever face, but he does have some holes in his swing. You get to the postseason, you face pitchers who can find those holes.
No question. And I think, you know, that's what's happening is that, you know, Alfonso, there's no question he knows he's struggled the last couple of years in postseason, and he wants to get going. And the best way to get going is to be selective and get yourself good pitches to hit.
But he appears to be more over anxious and more attacking that pitch that is outside that strike zone.
Absolutely. And that's the telltale sign for me.
0-2 pitch, and the breaking ball just misses outside. 1-2 to Soriano. He'll be followed by Mike Fontenot. 1 out here in the Cubs' third.
He's gotten a steady diet of fastballs away, breaking balls away.
And that's the pitch that the Dodgers would like him to chase.
That's a little too far out there. I think that Soriano is one of those hitters. Some hitters, when they get in slumps, let the ball come to them. When Soriano gets in a slump, he goes after the ball.
Exactly. He goes to get it.
2-2. Foul ball.
And that last pitch is a great example of that because he threw him a breaking ball and he was out in front and pulled that ball foul.
Well, it was Soriano who said that Lou Piniella's body language spoke volumes in the clubhouse. He didn't really have to say much to the team after that embarrassing loss in game number 2. And a swinging bunt, comebacker, back to Kuroda. And Soriano's retired for the second time in the game, and they're 2 down.
Just take a look at Soriano from the side. Now watch how far forward his barrel gets to hit that ball. See, he's off balance, and that barrel is way out in front. And what you'd like to see him do is back that ball, let that ball get a little bit deeper, like Derek Lee did the first time up. He backed that ball up and drove it to right center field.
Mike Fontenot with 2 outs. He bounced out for call at shortstop and takes ball 1. So the first 8 outs collected by Kuroda, all on the ground. And a foul ball. The first pitch to Fontenot was a ball, and Kuroda now has thrown 9 of his first 11 first pitch strikes. So he has gotten ahead on the hitter.
That really has been the case with this entire Dodger starting staff so far in his first 3 games. They have attacked the strike zone.
Breaking pitch on the outside corner for the strike. 1-2. Hiroki Kuroda missed 17 games due to a sore shoulder, was on the disabled list from mid-June to early July. Crowd turning it up a notch. The 1-2 pitch over the middle and into center field, a base hit. So Lou Piniella, who wanted Mike Fontenot in the lineup because he was swinging the bat well, does that, gets a 2-out single here in the third.
Well, when you get ahead of the hitter, you want to throw the ball out of the strike zone. That cat's part of the strike zone. Nice hitting by Fontenot, hitting that ball back through the middle.
Yep, and he didn't really hit it that hard. He kind of got it towards the end, but still, he stayed back on it nice, backed it up, and hit it right back up the box.
Well, here's Derek Lee, who doubled to the opposite field his first time and was stranded at second. The Cubs left 2. Tying run at the plate early on here, and the first pitch of ball outside. Derek Lee, the National League batting champion 3 years ago, hitting .335. Originally a first-round draft pick by the San Diego Padres back in 1993.
Well, Lee's doing his job. He's 4 for 8. The problem with Lee, Soriano, Ramirez, and Soto, no home runs, no RBIs.
And of course, the Cubs are heavily laden by right-handed hitters against primarily right-handed pitchers, puts them at a definite mismatch in that department. Fontenot with the lead. 1-0 to lead. In tight.
Interesting part of the game, within the game. 2-0 pitch for Derek Lee after doubling off the right field walls. Should get a good pitch to hit.
Yeah, and the question will be, what will he try to do with it? If you jump out in front, he throws you a breaking ball.
Swings and misses, 2-1.
Good sinker running down and in. That's kind of a tough pitch to really want to pull.
Rich Harden loosening up for his efforts in the bottom of the third inning. 2 balls and a strike to Lee. Runner on at first, 2 down. Breaking ball and a ground ball through the hole into left field, a base hit. Stopping at second is Fontenot. So Derek Lee now 2 for 2 with a double and a single, and the Cubs have 2 on again after 2 are out.
Well, patient early in the count for Derek Lee. Takes this slider away for a ball. Then trying to come inside, takes that one also. Got a little big on the next pitch, but then with that little slider down and away, able to rip that into left field. Nice level hitting.
Rick Honeycutt, the Dodger pitching coach, coming out quickly to discuss things with Martin and Kuroda. And Kuroda already has thrown 44 pitches. So the Cubs, as they did in the first inning, have 2 runners on after 2 are out, and now it's Aramis Ramirez. 4 for 17 with runners in scoring position against the Dodgers. This is where the Cubs have fallen short the last 2 years in postseason.
And we asked it in the first inning. We'll ask it again in the third. Who's going to be that guy? Who's going to be the guy to get that 2-out knock?
Ramirez walked his first time. Good pitch, strike 1.
Kind of was a late strike call there.
It was a late call, and also the body language and response from Ramirez of, I can't believe that's a strike, is kind of what happens when you get frustrated over the course of a couple games.
And when there's tension, and when you know somebody's got to deliver.
And that misses outside. 1 ball and 1 strike. Fontenot, the runner, at second. Derek Lee at first with 2 down. Kuroda trying to work out of his second jam in 3 innings. Fouled off. 1-2 now.
Talk about being aggressive. And you see Ramirez taking a healthy hack, upset at himself because it wasn't exactly the pitch he wanted. And I'm telling you, it's when you have that tension of somebody has to deliver or we're breaking out the golf clubs. It's tough, and you just really kind of have to take a deep breath and say, okay, I gotta let him dictate the action. You can't force it.
Here's the 1-2 pitch, and they chop it to third. Blake will go to second for the fourth, and once again, Kuroda pitches out of a 2-out jam. 2 hits, 2 left. Dodgers come up in the bottom of the third.
To everything you love in life with BlackBerry.
I got Eve.
Socket, devil, rabbit.
Let's do this.
I'm almost there. All right, you ready? Let's go.
Wow. How you doing? I'm Adam.
Hi, Adam. I'm Eve. It's too weird.
They've got a little captain in them. Got a little captain in you.
Drink responsibly.
Seems like you need to be a physics professor to choose the right TV. Luckily, I am one. Your choice is the brand behind the first LCD display in a calculator.
The dreamers who evolved the LCD into a 3-inch TV. The designers who first hung an LCD TV on a wall. The pioneers who gave America full HD 1080p in an LCD TV. The creators of the world's largest LCD display. Or choose all of the above. Sharp.
Change your TV, change your life. Sharp.
Sometimes you need a little push to let go of your Mach 3 razor until you discover Gillette Fusion. 5 blades spaced closer together with less irritation. Switch to Gillette Fusion.
It's too bad your vehicle's warning signs aren't this easy to spot. Good thing there are Napa Auto Care Centers, where their work is backed by a nationwide 12-month, 12,000-mile peace-of-mind warranty. So once your vehicle's repaired, you can be sure it's going to stay that way. Napa. Get the goods.
How much do you know about Bond? His MI6 says he's difficult to control. Nice way of saying that everything he touches seems to wither and die.
If you could avoid killing every possible lead, it would...
I'll do my best.
I've heard that before.
Quantum of Solace, rated PG-13.
And welcome back to Dodgers Stadium in Los Angeles, where the Dodgers lead the Cubs 2-0. LA coming up in the bottom of the third inning. Dick Stockton along with Ron Darling, Tony Gwynn, Tom Verducci of Sports Illustrated. And it'll be the top of the order to face Rich Harden, as Hiroki Kuroda has pitched out of some trouble, as the Cubs have left 4 men on base in the first 3 innings. Here's Rafael Furcal, led off the Dodger first by popping out to Ramirez at third. Strike on the inside edge. Rich Harden, in his second postseason start, lost Game 3 of the ALCS back in '06 and fouled out of play into the mezzanine. 0-2. Furcal will be followed by Russell Martin and Manny Ramirez, and you can expect another fan explosion when number 99 comes to the plate.
Especially if he gets up with a couple of ducks on the pond. Furcal or either Martin can get on base.
I think Furcal thought he just took strike 3 right there. He said, oh, it's not going to call it. He stepped back.
1 ball, 2 strikes. 2-2 now to Furcal, who missed 125 games this year out with back surgery. Came off the disabled list at the end of September, and his back says it's not bothering him. That's Martin, who's on deck, and you have already seen Manny in the hole. Full count, pitch up high. short center field. It's going to drop for a base hit. Fielded by Soriano. So Furcal leads off the third inning with a base hit. And the Dodgers get their first leadoff hit. Here's Russell Martin, who this series just 2 hits and 9 at-bats, but both were huge. Game 1, the solo home run off of Jason Marquis in the 9th inning to pile it on and on for the Dodgers, and then a 3-run double off of Carlos Zambrano in the 2nd inning, and that was big, giving the Dodgers a 4-0 lead as they scored 5 runs to break it open early in Game 2. Martin with a double and came around and scored on Loney's 2-bagger in a throw to first base to keep Furcal close. 8 stolen bases for Furcal on the year.
Well, in that second game, James Loney hit and running on the first pitch, so Lou and Rich Harden counter by having the throw over to first.
And the throw gets past Derek Lee and rolls into short right field, and the big turn by Furcal, and he goes back to second base as the throw comes all the way into third. And an injured Cub. Let's see if it's DeRosa or Fontenot, the second baseman. Fontenot was shaken up. And the athletic trainer, Mark O'Neill, comes out to tend to him.
I think he hurt one of his legs trying to slide and get that ball. Sometimes he'll jam those spikes into the grass and it won't give.
Yeah.
Well, here's the throwaway over the body of Furcal. Derek Lee could not reach over him to get it. Let's watch Fontenot.
He looked all right to that point, but after the throw to third, did something to his left ankle. So here's Mike Fontenot getting a chance to start. Cubs needing his offense and injured.
Well, if you're going to err on throwing the ball to first to pick a man off, you got to err to the glove side of first baseman Lee.
And the error, of course, charged to Rich Harden.
You know what might have happened there? He went to make that throw, and maybe a spike stuck in the grass didn't allow his foot to turn.
Now, I thought as he was going towards that ball that he was going to try to slide. A lot of infielders will slide and get that ball so that they can get back to their feet quick enough so they can make a throw. And it just looked like he started to slide and then it didn't go anywhere.
Trying to walk it off. Meanwhile, the Cubs now have committed their 6th error of this series.
Boy, it almost reminds you, I know that a lot of the errors were committed by the pitchers there with Harden, but the 06 World Series, right? When you had the Detroit Tigers against the St. Louis Cardinals and all their problems in the field.
That's been the Achilles heel for the Cubs. Too many bases on balls in game number 1, too many errors in the field, many of them by reliable infielders in game number 2, and the Dodgers jumped on all of those problems.
This is what allows the Dodgers here to, execute an inning.
Well, tomorrow on TBS, our division series continues. First, it's the Phillies and Brewers, game 4 from Milwaukee, and then the Rays take on the White Sox in game 3 of their series. And then the Angels and the Red Sox from Fenway Park. That's game number 4. That should be 3 from Boston. And finally, it's game 4 of this series, if necessary, from here at Dodger Stadium. Coverage begins at 12:30 p.m. Eastern Time with TBS MLB on deck. So it was a sad night in the Southland last night with the Red Sox beating the Angels to take a 2-0 lead, winning there. And now the Dodgers try to cheer the fans after winning 2 in Chicago. Here's Russell Martin, and the pitch is inside, ball 1. So the runner at second is Furcal. Reaching there after the base hit on the throwing error by Rich Harden. And Manny Ramirez is on deck. That's down low, no advance. 2-0 now.
And because Manny is on deck, this might be a situation where Joe Torre says, okay, get yourself a good pitch to hit and go ahead and take a whack at it. Try to drive the runner in.
Dodgers scored 2 runs in the first inning. A one-out double by Martin. Manny Ramirez with a single. Martin went to third on a close play there, and then Loney knocked them both in with a double to right field. Here's the 2-0 pitch and the call strike. And Tom Verducci, who's down on the field and has good ears, reports that Lou Piniella told his second baseman Mike Fontenot to watch out for the push bunt, something we saw from Furcal in game number 2. Three and one now to Martin.
Well, Harden has been so concerned with Martin going the other way. He's countered by throwing fastballs in and sliders down, but has not thrown him for strikes.
Yep. This is exactly what happened to Russell Martin the other night in Chicago. He got ahead in the count 3-1 and finally got something he could hit.
3-1 pitch, and it's popped up behind the plate. Giovanni Soto has a play, makes the catch for the first out. And right now, Manny Ramirez comes to the plate with one out and a man at second, and this crowd ready to erupt again. And first base is open. And of course, Lou Piniella said, if anyone's going to beat us, I'd rather have Ethier than Manny Ramirez. And they're going to walk him. As Ramirez, with 5 hits thus far in the series, including 2 homers, and they'll pitch to Andre Ethier.
Well, it's the right strategy.
Absolutely.
You have to. Don't let him beat you. But Ethier's been outstanding that 4th spot behind Manny since Manny got here, and very capable hitter.
Yeah. But Harden, Harden struck him out the first time. And this is a no-brainer right here. You're not going to let Manny Ramirez beat you, and that's why Giovanni Soto has that hand sticking out. He's just not going to do it.
And as Manny Ramirez trots the first, here is tonight's Nikon D60 player profile. Born in Santo Domingo in the Dominican Republic, attended George Washington High School, just a stone's throw from Yankee Stadium. And of course, has done damage against the Yankees, hasn't he, over the years, as a member of the Indians and the Red Sox, and collects antique cars. And has been an electrifying addition to the Dodgers.
Dick, you make that kind of change, you can collect a lot of antique stuff.
Yeah. More than you need. Here's Andre Ethier, struck out his first time up. And a strike to Ethier, struck out. He is 1 for 7 in this series. The walk to Manny was the first, though it be intentional, by Harden. Furcal is at second. Ramirez on at first. In the air, deep to center field. Edmonds is going back, and on the warning track will make the catch. Furcal will tag up, go to third, and Manny Ramirez goes to second. Good alert base running by Manny. As the Dodgers can stay out of the double play. Well, that's the second out in any event, and there are 2 down.
He just missed that pitch,
yeah,
Tony.
He did.
Manny asking Fontenot what happened.
And Lou Piniella coming out to the mound.
And this is a no-brainer either. I know he's going out to his pitcher who has a lot of experience, is talking to him what he'd like to do, but I'm sure Lou would like to pass Loney, who's already hit the 2-run double off him, and face Matt Kemp.
And also a left-handed batter.
Yes.
And Kemp coming up would be a right-handed hitter, so the percentages would favor that. Here you see Kemp coming up, and after Loney. And this is James Loney off the wall, and Manny Ramirez coming in, and there you see Martin and Ramirez. Well, I tell you, this is a totally different Dodger team. What excitement Manny has added to the club, both in the clubhouse and, of course, what he's done on the field.
And again, the Dodgers have set the table, and 13 of 19 runs have come with 2 outs. It just doesn't get any better than that.
They're going to pitch to Loney with 2 outs and runners at second and third. First, a strike. What's the strategy here?
Well, I think when you have a discussion between your manager and Harden, who has over 100 career starts, Harden likes Loney. Even though he made a mistake, he had to at some point tell his manager, I want to go after this guy. Pound him in and then throw balls in the dirt. Breaking balls in the dirt.
Choosing to pitch to the left-handed hitter, lifts it in the air, and Mark DeRosa should make the play to retire the side, and the Dodgers leave 2 runners in scoring position. We've completed 3. LA over Chicago 2-0.
I love the postseason so much that I plan to buy them.
TBS and Dish Network present all new episodes.
Enjoy the game.
Frank TV, TBS Tuesdays, starting October 21st.
Only on TBS. Very funny.
Sponsored in part by Turbo HD by Dish Network.
All right. Who ate my volcano taco?
Don't look at me.
Introducing Taco Bell's new 89-cent Volcano Taco. With spicy lava sauce, it could be the spiciest taco ever.
Was me.
Why pay more for heat when you can think outside the bun?
Step 2, 3, and
Whatever steps you're taking to impress your partner, don't let erectile dysfunction get in the way. Viagra, America's most prescribed ED treatment, can help you enjoy a more satisfying sexual experience. To learn more, take a spin around Viagra.com. Ask your doctor if your heart is healthy enough for sex. Don't take Viagra if you take nitrates for chest pain, as it may cause an unsafe drop in blood pressure. Side effects may include headache, flushing, upset stomach, and abnormal vision. To avoid long-term injury, seek immediate medical help for an erection lasting more than 4 hours. Stop taking Viagra and call your doctor right away if you experience a sudden decrease in vision or hearing. Now's the time to take the lead. Ask your doctor if Viagra is right for you.
Here's the windup. The pitch is low. And
you want passion? You've come to the right place. This is America. Passion was invented here. In your face, my team rocks. Your team couldn't hit the side of a barn. Passion. And only at Bank of America can you wear your passion on your card. That's my expression banking. You're not just someone with a dull plastic card. You're someone with heart. A little out there, but with heart. Want to let the world know where your passions lie? You can with Bank of America. Bank of Opportunity.
You know, I know what you're thinking. Why is there so much baseball going on during these Frank TV promos?
All new episodes of Frank TV, TBS Tuesdays, starting October 21st.
Only on TBS. Very funny. Frank it!
Welcome back to Dodger Stadium as the Cubs come up in the 4th inning, trailing by 2 runs, and Giovanni Soto with a mighty cut, strike 1. Soto bounced to third his first time. Fouled at the plate, and it's no balls and 2 strikes. All the outs recorded by Kuroda have been on the ground. He has allowed 3 hits, however, had 2 runners on base in the first inning and again last inning before getting the final out.
They'll lose pace and a little more tonight.
Well, he knows they've had 2 opportunities. They haven't been able to punch one across, but they are doing some positive things, working the count a little bit better.
One and 2 to Soto, Jim Edmonds on deck, and then Mark DeRosa.
You know, they also made that decision. See Joe Torre mulling over the lineup. They made a decision to pitch to Loney, and it worked,
yeah,
and that's a good thing.
That's a good thing.
Positive thing.
Breaking ball and a foul ball down the third base line. Cubs have lost 8 straight postseason games. And Lou Piniella's team trying to avoid getting swept. They did not lose 3 straight in the regular season until mid-June. That's a pretty good record. Then they had a 4-game losing skene in late June, and then 6 in a row was their longest streak at the end of August and into early September. That misses, and a close pitch. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Soto. A line shot down the left field line, and a fair ball as Manny Ramirez chases it into the corner. And Giovanni Soto will walk into second with a double. And that'll be the 4th hit of the game for the Cubs, a leadoff 2-bagger. And now it's time to talk, brought to you by Charles Schwab. And we talked to Dodger manager Joe Torre. He's been a little bit of trouble, Kuroda, but how's he pitched?
With Kuroda right now, it looks like he's, he's got a number of pitches that are working for him. And we're having pretty good at bats. I think we get a little excited sometimes, try to hit the ball too hard, but for the most part, I'm satisfied with what's going on.
A lot of people around baseball know about James Loney, but boy, he's an up-and-coming star. Not only the offensive end, but he's a slick fielder also.
Yeah, Ron, I think he's just scratched the surface right now. I'm not sure he knows how good he can be. I think he's going to hit some home runs one of these days, and once he gets a grip on what he can do, and I think he's going to hit for average also. He uses the other field so well that he doesn't get tricked that often.
Joe, thanks for being with us.
Okay, guys.
So the count to Jim Edmonds, 0-1, bounced out his first time up. Soto with a leadoff double at second base. And the count now 1-1. So the Cubs, for the first time tonight, have the leadoff man aboard, and he's in scoring position. So this is really a big opportunity considering the way the series is going and the game is going for the Cubs.
That's another chance to execute in an inning. Jim Edmonds rolled out to the second baseman his first at bat. Have to do something to advance that runner.
1-1 pitch, and he grounds sharply to Fontenot, or DeWitt, and makes the play for the out, and Soto goes to third. So Edmonds does his job, hitting to the right side to move Soto over to third.
It's a productive at, and now you have an opportunity to score a run without getting a base hit. See his teammates getting up and shaking his hand, letting him know that's a nice job. Of course, Jimmy Edmonds wants the base hit. He wants to pull that ball to the right side and get a base hit, but he did his job. He got him over to third and gave DeRosa an opportunity to drive him in.
And DeRosa has driven in 4 runs for the Cubs thus far in the series. Grounded out his first time up, and there's a ground ball to third base. Runner holds at third as Blake throws out DeRosa for out number 2. So an opportunity there with a runner at third and 1 out, goes by the boards, and now it'll be left up to Ryan Theriot, who is out trying to bunt Kuroda to Loney in the second.
Boy, first pitch hitting there, Tony.
For the first time, really.
A place where you need to lift the baseball.
Absolutely. Be a little patient. And he had done that pretty much in this
They're going to walk Theriot and pitch to Rich Harden. That'll be the first intentional walk by Kuroda.
Hitting so hard, it, Tony, but the one pitch that is a difficult pitch for you to hit off Kuroda if you're the right-hander is that sinker down and in. You want to almost hit his breaking ball or fastball away.
You want to spin on that and get something out over the plate. Elevate it if you can.
It's been tough for any of the Cub hitters to elevate it against Kuroda so far. And there's ball 4. So Theriot goes down to first base. Runners at first and third. 11 ground outs. That's been the story for the Dodger pitcher. And Rich Harden, who bounced to second, is up with 2 outs and runners at first and third. So that was a big opportunity for the Cubs to at least try to get 1 back. Kuroda's first pitch to Harden, bunts at it and misses for a strike.
That's not a bad play for Rich Harden, because we saw his first at bat. He's got some wheels. He can run. Now that bunting technique is not the best.
Wasn't the best. But we know what he's thinking. He's thinking, hey, if I can get a ball on the ground past the pitcher, they're not going to get me out.
2 strikes on Rich Harden. Dodgers urging on Hiroki Kuroda to end this 4th inning. Again, 2 runners on base for the Cubs, but 0-2 to the Chicago pitcher. Outside 1-2. And it's pop foul out of play. 65 pitches now thrown by Kuroda. And Harden trying to make him work. Trying to make contact to make something happen. Dodgers lead it 2-0. The 1-2 to Harden. And he gets a piece of it, fouls it out of play. Good at bat for Rich Harden here.
Having a little better at bat each and every swing. Looks a little bit like a Walt Riniak swing.
Chopping down.
Chopping down one-handed, follow through.
Well, if you're the Cubs, that's all you can hope for, is that you can put the ball in play and force the defense to get you out. Not over swinging. He's just trying to take a nice, easy swing. Put it in play.
And he strikes out to end the inning. And the Cubs miss another opportunity. After 3.5, Dodgers 2, Cubs nothing.
Can you believe we still call these phones, considering all they can do? Truth is, technology's only great when you know how to use it. I'm Dan Hesse, CEO of Sprint. First, we revolutionized wireless plans. Now we want to help you get the most from these amazing devices. So come by a Sprint store for a personalized setup. You'll walk out an expert.
It's the time of your life. You don't want to miss out right here and now. There's so many reasons.
When you think about it, there's so much in life worth celebrating. And beginning January, you're invited to join us at one of our parks on your birthday, absolutely free. Register your birthday now at DisneyParks.com. What will you celebrate at the place where dreams come true?
It was all over the place, literally. An IRA here, a bunch of funds there. That's why we kept putting off moving here. We thought it'd be a nightmare. But actually, with Schwab, it was the opposite. You get this concierge person. He did the paperwork, called the old firm for me, showed us around the website, all that stuff. It was a breeze.
NASCAR Hot Pass, only on DirecTV, puts you behind the wheel. Select any featured driver to get dedicated video feeds, real-time stats, and live team audio.
You think the 9's gonna fit? He has to.
Only NASCAR Hot Pass lets you experience all the heart-stopping action from the best seat in the house. This season, don't just watch NASCAR, bring it home. NASCAR Hot Pass, exclusively on DirecTV. Now available in high definition.
Looking for more HD movie choices? Only DirecTV HD Extra Pack brings you 5 channels you can't get in standard def. Get MGM HD, HDNet Movies, Universal HD, Smithsonian Channel HD, and Palladia. Sign up now and get the first 3 months free. To upgrade to DirecTV HD Extra Pack, visit DirecTV.com or call 1-800-531-5000 now.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Office of the Commissioner of Baseball and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without express written consent.
Well, here in Los Angeles, celebrities are here. Billy Crystal is in the crowd, and John Lovett's on the left with Rob Reiner, the outstanding director. Dennis Haysbert, who is in the film Major League. Vince Vaughn is there. And former Dodger pitcher Dave Stewart, who also was a teammate with Ron Darling, as Matt Kemp first pitch to him.
There's a celebrity here.
Yes, he is. You know, you want to say Mr. Dodger.
Yeah.
That's him.
He's wearing Dodger blue and bleeding Dodger blue.
0-1 to Kemp. And they appeal to first base umpire Tom Hallion, did not swing. Here's the 1-1, and it's 2 balls and a strike to Kemp, who fly to center his first time up. Dodgers with 2 runs in the first inning. James Loney knocking them in with a double. And Rich Harden getting out of problems in the 3rd inning, helped by a throwing error by himself, and now it's 3-1. Three balls and a strike to Matt Kemp leading off. He'll be followed by Blake DeWitt and Casey Blake. Each team has 4 hits thus far. And the bat goes fly, and the comebacker to Harden. And Kemp is thrown out. So a shattered bat by the Dodgers center fielder, who's retired for out number 1.
Boy, those bats get more and more dangerous, don't they? More bats breaking. A lot of these new bats with the maple thin handles become projectiles.
You know, it's really going to be interesting to see what Major League Baseball does coming into next year, whether, you know, they make a decision about these maple bats, because, Ron, you're right. Those things, you saw one shatter already tonight, and that one split in half.
You get that sharp edge going out.
The wrong direction.
Be real dangerous.
Yes, sir.
Blake DeWitt with 1 out. Ball 1 inside. DeWitt flied out to Soriano in short left field his first time. 2 runs on 4 hits and 3 1/3 thus far for Rich Harden. And misses again inside, and it's 2-0. Blake DeWitt, Rookie of the Month in May, so he got off to a good start. Hit .322 that month. He's been steady, and that misses outside, and Harden falls behind DeWitt 3-0.
Well, it's Harden's job to keep them right here. Can't let the Dodgers score any more runs, get that big lead. Look at the momentum of this ballpark here, and the fans are excited. You know, they've had to eat crow all summer. Listen to all the talk about Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim, how they're the power team, best record in baseball, and how they're just above 500 and not worthy to be in the playoffs.
And that's driven foul. And of course, everyone telling them you play in the worst division, you know, in baseball, with everyone with a losing record, including the Dodgers, who had a losing record for a good part of the year, and the Arizona Diamondbacks, the defending division champions, and then the Dodgers overtake them. But again, you know, the catalyst was the acquisition of Manny Ramirez, who changed the whole culture here. And DeWitt strikes out. That is the 2nd strikeout for Harden, and there are 2 gone in the 4th. TBS presents a very funny festival with a very funny lineup. See Jerry Seinfeld, Dane Cook, Cheech and Chong, and many more live. The funniest names in comedy will be at the Comedy Festival November 20th through the 22nd in Las Vegas. Buy tickets now at thecomedyfestival.com. Casey Blake popped up to Fontenot at 2nd. Fouls off the first pitch, strike 1. And how about the deal for Casey Blake, which was really made 5 days before Manny Ramirez? That's the deal that no one talks about, that loomed large.
No question. And we've seen, you know, what Casey Blake's done with the bat and the glove in this series so far.
And the veteran aspect to Blake, who lends a postseason experience.
He's one of those guys. He wasn't a bonus baby. It took him a while to make it to the big leagues. So he's the kind of player that does not take anything for granted being here in the big leagues. And he's one of those guys that you would love to play with. You know, he'd be a great teammate, great work ethic.
2-1 now to Blake with 2 down.
It's not everyone can be a superstar. You need those grinders on your team. Come and play hard every day.
Well, it looks like Blake DeWitt has a chance to be that, and that's what Casey Blake has been in his career in 10 seasons. Ned Colletti, the general manager of the Dodgers, a Chicago native, and was once one of the original bleacher bums, a big fan of the Cubs in the 60s, worked in the media relations department, was an ex-sports writer, and then became a vice president, dealt with arbitration and contracts, and now Ned Colletti is the GM of the Dodgers. 1-2-3 inning for Rich Harden. We go to the 5th. It's 2-0.
Connect to everything you love in life with BlackBerry.
It's no secret. Dish Network has the best channels, top-ranked customer service, and the best prices nationwide. Wait a second, then why would I want cable? I don't know. Did you say we don't need cable? That's what I said. We don't need cable. Why are you yelling? Who's yelling? How am I supposed to know?
Get Turbo HD by Dish Network. The 100% HD service. Packages start at just $24.99 a month. Turbo HD by Dish Network.
What are you waiting for? Get it!
What have you been doing?
Playing baseball.
Where's the ferry?
Sto boat.
No boat?
È un debacle, è un disastro.
We could swim across.
Swimming?
Well, what's going on here?
Hi.
Engine trouble?
It's broken.
Well, maybe I've got an idea.
For auto, home, and business. Travelers.
Zach, what happened to the water?
They shut it off.
Help me get this out of my hair. Just use the water out of the toilet.
There's poo in there.
When life's got you down.
If we don't come up with some rent, we're gonna get locked out of the apartment.
We could make a porno.
Not the idea I was looking for.
Rise to the occasion.
You have a talent?
Something I picked up during bachelor parties.
Her name Bubbles.
Zach and Miri make a porno.
Action. I'm a delivery man, and I have some cream for you. This is the worst porno I've ever seen.
Rated R. Everywhere October 31st.
The MLB Division Series on TBS is brought to you by Geico, where 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. And by Taco Bell. Think outside the bun.
Alfonso Soriano leading off the 5th inning for the Cubs and takes strike 1. So the Cubs, who have left 6 on base, 2 in the first, 2 more in the 3rd and last inning when Soto led off with a double, looking to get something going here, trailing by 2 runs against Hiroki Kuroda. And Soriano lifts a fly ball to center field, and Matt Kemp will handle it for out number 1. So Soriano now 1 for 12 in this series.
Well, the thing you got to love about Kuroda tonight, 11 ground ball outs, a strikeout in that late pop-up, but he's been throwing that ball in. He's been keeping it down, just like Derek Lowe and Billingsley in the first 2 games, and he's been attacking the strike zone. That has been the key for Kuroda and all the Dodger starters so far in this series.
And he has slammed the door, guys, when the Cubs have had a threat going, getting Soto to end the first. Aramis Ramirez in the third. And then striking out Harden as Mike Fontenot takes strike one. One ball and one strike to Fontenot, who was shaken up a bit on an error back in the third inning. Throwing error by Harden. And it took Fontenot a while to run and walk. Here's a fly ball to right field. Andre Ethier is back. Has a beat on it and makes the catch for out number two here in the fifth inning. So Fontenot appears all right, Tom Verducci, and it looked a little dicey for a while.
Yeah, well, he's not 100%, Dick. They brought him back into the clubhouse after he hurt that left ankle, gave him some treatment. He asked for a bat. He took some swings back there. Clearly, he's not 100%, but he's not coming out of the game. Actually, they had advised Kosuke Fukudome to be ready in case they had to put Mark DeRosa back at second base and Fukudome in the outfield, but he's staying in there.
Well, that's ironic, Tom, especially since the public declaration that Fukudome was going to be finished in the series after going hitless in the first two games. Derek Lee missing the first pitch from Kuroda. And the count 1-1. Lee with a double and a single tonight has 2 of the 4 Chicago hits.
Kuroda's faced 21 hitters now, 17 first pitch strikes. That's a great way to get hitters out. And an inning that, Tony, you and I thought was key inning in this game, leading off with Soriano, maybe get some runners on base. He might get out of this with a quick pitch inning, low pitch inning.
Here's the 1-1 pitch. It's inside, and you had just got through talking about, Ron, how there were 11 ground ball outs and 1 strikeout, and then all of a sudden the Cubs hitting the ball in the air, fly balls, but caught by Dodger outfielders. There's a strike, and it's 2-2 now to Lee with 2 down. Lee strikes out to end the fifth. The second 1-2-3 inning for Kuroda, and after 4.5 innings, only 10 pitches that inning, Dodgers still up by 2.
I'm Anderson Cooper from CNN. We've been all over the world again this year for a special investigation of the most urgent threats facing the planet. It's called Planet in Peril Battle Lines.
Let's save the shark.
And airs Thursday night, December 11th on CNN. We're reporting from the front lines of conflicts over natural resources and battles over energy. To do something, watch during Game 4 of the American League Championship Series here on TBS. There'll be a small challenge, and if a lot of you participate, you'll make a real difference, too.
Join Sharp in making energy-saving history. Turn your lights out during Game 4 of the ALCS. See how much energy we can save together by taking the Sharp Lights Out Challenge. To participate and learn more ways to save energy, visit tbs.com/lightsout.
Shotgun. Oh, come on. We'll be in the car.
Always designated driver, and please drink responsibly.
Rated E for everyone.
About to make it happen. Inside this court, I learned the game. Inside this gym, they said I'd never make it.
We gonna do.
Inside this house, everyone will scream my name.
From the streets to the finals. NBA 09 The Inside. Nothing gets you closer. Only on PlayStation.
The Suzuki SX4 Sport has a unique pop-up Navi system, a roomy cabin, 30 miles per gallon highway, and more horsepower than the Honda Civic LX, all for under $16,000. So we can pretty much assure you'll have a great time in it. But once you're out of it, you're on your own. The Suzuki SX4. Live large, drive small. Suzuki.
National League Division Series coverage on TBS is presented by BlackBerry. Dodgers scoring 2 runs in the first inning, and they've made it stand up as they come up in the last of the 5th. Hiroki Kuroda, Dodger pitcher, struck out his first time up. Rich Harden has struck out 4 batters thus far. And Kuroda will be followed by the top of the order. Shows bunt, takes a strike. Bounding ball is second. Fontenot retires Kuroda, 1 away. And the Dodgers will bring up the top of the order. Rafael Furcal, 1 for 2. Single to left his last time up. And wound up in scoring position by virtue of a throwing error by Harden. Dodgers did not score. Loney's 2-run double in the first inning, the only scoring thus far.
Lou's doing a lot of barking today, isn't he?
Mm-hmm.
Ball 1. Dodgers were beaten 7 out of 9 to the Cubs in the regular season, but Furcal didn't play. It was before Manny Ramirez arrived on the scene, and Chicago was well aware that the Dodger lineup was vastly different from what they had seen in midseason.
You know, they were deciding who was going to play where with their young outfielders. If Ethier was going to play every day like he's playing now, he wasn't then.
Yep.
Whether Kemp should play right field or center field, they finally decided to put him in center.
Club virtually got healthy when they needed to at the end. Here's the 2-0 pitch. 3-0 now to Furcal, with Martin on deck and then Manny Ramirez.
Russell Martin got off to a slow start. He was hitting a buck and change early in the season.
Well, remember, you had Andrew Jones out there who was really struggling. Juan Pierre looking for some playing time. Nomar, Kent. And that's what I meant. Joe Torre has done a great job of mixing these veteran guys with these younger guys, getting them on the same page, and now having them perform at the right time.
Ball 4, and Harden wasn't even close. So Furcal drops down to first base. Well, the Cubs can't hold anything back. They lose this, they go home, Tom Verducci. So what are their pitching plans as this game goes on?
Yeah, we got to remember, Rich Harden is not an 8-inning guy. He made 12 starts for the Cubs, and half of those were less than 6 innings. Now, if Lou Piniella has to go to the bullpen in these middle innings, look for Ryan Dempster to come into the game number 1 starter. I know he's the number 5 starter in terms of game 5, but Lou Piniella said he will not hesitate to go to Ryan Dempster in the middle innings. And don't forget, with Dempster's experience as a closer out of the bullpen, he's a starter who can come into the game in the middle of an inning.
All right, Tom, throw to first base as Martin comes up.
That's a really great point. He was their closer last season, had 28 saves, but it looks like Sean Marshall is going to be the first one up, who did a nice job in the first game of this series.
Struck out 4 in that first game. First pitch to Martin, missing, ball 1. Russell Martin, 1 for 2 with a double, and scored one of the 2 Dodger runs back in the first inning. Russell Martin led the Dodgers in on-base percentage and walks. Up high, and he hitting second in the order, has hit leadoff as well, and timeout called as Larry Rothschild will go to the mound. Harden wasn't even close when he walked Furcal, and now falling behind Martin 2-0 and not near the plate on either of these 2 pitches.
Well, let's not forget, we're into the 5th inning. Larry Rothschild and Rich Harden did an extended bullpen to get ready for this game, to get him up to that 90 miles per hour. So is he running out of a little steam here?
I mean, 78 pitches. 44 strikes, 34 balls, not exactly the best ratio you're looking for.
It was interesting that Kuroda early in the game was throwing more pitches. He was into the 40s in the third inning. He's thrown only 70 to this point, Ron.
Well, only 10 pitches in that last inning. You have those kind of innings, changes those numbers completely around.
Well, in games 1 and 2, the Dodgers, look how they raised the ante as the situation got more important. 2-0 pitch to Martin is a strike from Harden. 2 balls and 1 strike. In Lou Piniella's original pitching plans, he thought Dempster, who was outstanding at Wrigley Field, would go in the first game, Zambrano in the second, and then Harden, who was 3-1 and no decision on the road, and then Ted Lilly, who was solid on the road. There's a shot to left field, and it's going to go into the corner. Rounding second is for Carl, heading for third. Larry Bowa is going to wave him in, and here comes the relay. Not even close. Standing up, scoring is for Carl as Martin doubles home a run. It's the 3-0 Dodger lead.
Well, the Dodgers done a great job of getting the ball up, Tony.
Yep. And this ball's right down Broadway, and Martin's right on it. He did a great job last at bat, 2-0. He tried to get big and popped up. This time he took a 2-0 pitch for a strike. 2-1, got the ball he was looking for, and hit a bullet in the left field corner.
And Manny Ramirez, to the disappointment of the crowd, will be walked intentionally for the second time. First base is open. So Rafael Furcal scoring the run, and how about Russell Martin? Has 4 hits in 12 trips, a home run and 3 doubles in the series. And this will be ball 4, so Manny Ramirez, who had a first inning single, 1 for 1 in Lou Piniella, will go to the mound, and left-hander Sean Marshall will be coming in. And the Dodgers leading 3-0. 1 out and runners at first and second. We'll be right back.
Temperatures in a couple of weeks. He's having problems with his pitching elbow, and team doctors want him to sit a few games.
High pressure system continues to sit over the area, and that's going to mean more.
Once you've dealt with the things that come between you, don't let erectile dysfunction get in the way. Viagra, America's most prescribed ED treatment, can help you enjoy a more satisfying sexual experience. To learn more, spend some quality time with Viagra.com. Ask your doctor if your heart is healthy enough for sex. Don't take Viagra if you take nitrates for chest pain, as it may cause an unsafe drop in blood pressure. Side effects may include headache, flushing, upset stomach, and abnormal vision. To avoid long-term injury, seek immediate medical help for an erection lasting more than 4 hours. Stop taking Viagra and call your doctor right away if you experience a sudden decrease in vision or hearing. Now's the time. Ask your doctor if Viagra is right for you.
Back here at Dodger Stadium, and Rich Harden leaves after working 4 1/3 innings, and Sean Marshall making his second appearance. Worked 2 1/3 innings, allowed a run, a hit, struck out 4, and gave up a home run to Manny Ramirez in the first game of the series. DHL presents MLB Delivery Man. Fans, go to MLB.com to cast your vote for the 2008 DHL presents MLB Delivery Man of the Year award. So here's Sean Marshall, the 25-year-old towering left-hander at 6'7", Ron.
Well, they see him projected as a starter at some point. Started a half dozen games this year, but it's awful tough on the left-handed hitters. But with back-to-back with Ethier and Loney, Marshall's in the game.
And Andre Ethier will be the first to face him, as the Dodgers getting 2 in the first, 1 so far here in the 5th. And the, been a bunch of doubles. Loney drove in 2 with the double in the first inning, but Russell Martin, catalyst with a pair of doubles in both of these scoring innings.
And you know, when you think about this, guys, if the Dodgers proceed into the playoffs and as further they go, this man Theriot is going to get these chances very often.
Yep. You're right. And Joe feels pretty comfortable throwing him. You know, he batted him back-to-back. Theriot and Loney, he feels really good about his 2 left-hand hitters, and they're going to get opportunities.
One of the outstanding third-year players on this Dodger roster. Struck out and fly to center field. 1 out, runners at first and second. And a slow hit ground ball to Fontenot. Over to Theriot, safe at first. And Russell Martin advances to third as Manny is erased, and there are 2 down.
Well, Manny wasn't sure what he was going to do. Stop, he proceeds on, but the ball not hit hard enough. Theriot also has great speed.
Yep. And you're right, the ball wasn't hit hard enough. I was kind of surprised he swung at the first pitch there, but it wasn't hit hard enough to turn to, so they get Manny out at second.
Well, it doesn't get any easier now with James Loney, who has driven in 6 runs thus far in this series. Grand slam home run in game 1 at Wrigley Field, and a double to right field, driving in 2 in the first inning. Runners at the corners with 2 away. Marshall trying to end the threat and hold the Dodgers to only 1 run after Harden left. Breaking ball, 1-0, the count to Loney. 1 for 2 on the night.
And we heard Joe Torre talk about James Loney, especially against the left-handers. You'll see him try to shoot that ball to left field more and more.
Majority of his hits go up the middle the other way, so, and especially off a left-handed pitcher, he's going to be looking to go back up the middle.
And a swing and a miss for a strike, and
that reaction we just saw, that's a pitch he said he's going to take his shot. It's inside. Threw him a breaking ball. He felt like he was on it. He missed it.
That pitch seemed to be in the same area that the Harden slider was in the first inning.
And in respect for his ability to go to the opposite field, Soriano is playing a normal left field for a right-handed batter. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Took something off it, and it's over for a strike, 1-2.
Well, this is what they'll call a yellow hammer. Look at that. Starts at his shoulder, ends up at the middle of the plate, but once you give up as it's coming at you, nowhere to go.
Well, once you get that little flinch, that's it. You're done.
As you, I would say, don't really know.
Oh, yeah, I know.
That problem.
Any left-handed hitter knows. If that front leg goes jelly for a split second, you can't hit it.
Martin with the lead at third, Theriot on at first, and another curveball, but it's rolled to Fontenot, and the side is retired. Good job done by Sean Marshall getting the last 2 outs, but the Dodgers add to their lead, 3-0, going into the 6th.
Are you in?
I wouldn't miss this.
He's greedy, thinks he's smart, he's the best kind of mark.
Element of surprise.
Let's go break the law just one more time.
We provide leverage. Academy Award winner Timothy Hutton.
We're on the count. 5.
She's gone.
Son of a...
Man, why can't they all be this easy?
Leverage premieres this December only on TNT.
Hey, man, what kind of light beer do you want? Whatever. They all taste the same.
Hold on. They all taste the same. Does bath water taste the same as spring water? Does a carrot stick taste the same as a stick? Stick. Does ground beef taste the same as beef on the ground? Bottom line, there is a difference. And Bud Light has it. It's called drinkability. That just right taste. Not too heavy, not too light. Bud Light. The difference is drinkability.
Booyah.
The easy-to-use Nike
Nikon D60 lets anyone capture a moving moment. With an interchangeable Nikkor lens for the sharp, rich images that make a Nikon.
Got the shot. Very good.
The ultra-compact Nikon D60. And check out the highly awarded Nikon.
I was living in a devil town. I didn't know it was a devil town. Oh Lord, it really brings me down about the devil town.
I was living in a devil town. Oh Lord, it really brings me down about the devil town.
Week 5, 2007. Giants on the brink of going 2-3, knocking on mediocrity's door. But then Eli connects on a 53-yard touchdown pass, and you probably missed it. But if you had NFL Sunday Ticket only on DirecTV, you'd get every game every Sunday.
You know, he's got a brother that's pretty good, too.
Sign up for NFL Sunday Ticket today and get upgraded to the Superfan package for free.
Back here at Dodger Stadium, Dick Stockton, Ron Darling, Tony Gwynn, and Tom Verducci from Sports Illustrated. He's down on near the field with his observations as the Cubs hitting in the 6th, now trailing 3-0. Aramis Ramirez 0 for 1, walked his first time up. And time is beginning to run a little short for the Cubs. They're in the 6th inning down by 3 runs, and Ramirez takes a strike.
Right, Tony, it almost seems every pitch the Cub hitters take is down the middle.
I know.
And they're swinging at the ones off the plate.
0-1 pitch and a ground ball right to Furcal. One away. Chan-Ho Park is warming up in the Dodger bullpen out in left field. There is Chan-Ho Park, and Kuroda, retiring the first batter in the 6th inning, has set down the Cubs in order in the 2nd and 5th innings. And now looking at Giovanni Soto, who doubled to lead the 4th inning. Cubs cannot convert as DeRosa bounced out with the runner at 3rd and 1 out. Theriot walked intentionally, and then Harden was the last out, the pitcher. And the first pitch down low, ball 1. Kuroda had a strong finish to the season, won 4 of his last 6 decisions. Those last 11 starts, his ERA of 2.57. And a breaking ball for the strike, 1-1. Remember, this is his first postseason game, playing 11 years in Japan, and his first year with the Dodgers. Never been in postseason till now. That pitch is inside, and it's 2-1.
And you know, when you line up your rotation for a series, what they've done during the year dictates where you put them. 6-2 at home, 3-8 on the road for Kuroda. He gets his home start.
Ball strike. 2-2 now to Soto with 1 out and Jim Edmonds on deck.
Well, he got it all started.
Yes,
Derek Lowe, playoff veteran.
And he pitched well with his team down in that first game after DeRosa hit the 2-run homer. And it was his solid pitching out of trouble, that allowed the Dodgers to hang in the game before Loney hit the grand slam.
He kind of did in that first game what the Cubs wanted Harden to do in this game.
The Cubs still have time. They got to get some things going. They got to get some people on base.
But they still have not shown any indication that they're going to take advantage of opportunities. They've had a bunch in the last game in the first inning, and then it went by the boards. They had 2 runners on with 2 out. Fortunately, and a lot of what they have done have come with 2 out. Their threats in this game. But last inning, Soto led off with a double when it was still 2-0. It hasn't been there for the Cubs. But Soto battling here with the count, 3 balls and 2 strikes, just gets a piece of it to stay alive.
Soto looks though he's getting a little better swings tonight.
I think he's gotten better as the game has gone along.
That will happen for a rookie, won't it? I mean, you'll be a little impatient, a little nervous.
You get sawed off, and then you get a base hit.
Strikes out. That is the third strikeout for Kuroda. So the Cubs are getting into a situation, Tom Verducci, that frustration could be setting in here.
Well, I think so, Dick. In this ballpark, one way to gauge the energy level of a team is check out the dugout. You look in that Cubs dugout, most of them are sitting back on the bench, not at the top step. You know, that's an indication they're almost, with their body language, literally shrinking away from the field. And go back to that last strikeout by Derek Lee, his last time up. Derek Lee is one of the coolest customers on this Cubs team. And the frustration that he had showed upon that strikeout was really not the kind of Derek Lee you normally see.
Did he crack that helmet?
He did. Well, the insulation inside came out of the helmet.
He's going to have to get a new helmet.
If you're going to throw it, you might as well break it.
Jim Edmonds with the count 1 ball and 1 strike with 2 outs. And swinging on a pitch on the outside part of the zone and fouling it off, and it's 1-2. Cubs have managed only 4 hits off of Kuroda and have left 6 on base. Check swing, strike 3, and Edmonds goes down. 2 strikeouts for Kuroda. Another 1-2-3 inning. After 5.5, it's 3-0 the Dodgers.
All trucks give you horsepower. All trucks give you torque. They all give you tow packages and beefy V8s. All trucks give you power. Our truck does it with less gas. The best V8 fuel economy of any full-size pickup. Chevy Silverado, America's best truck. And now, J.D. Power & Associates' highest-rated large pickup in initial quality.
You deserve a meal made for men. Introducing Taco Bell's Big Box Meal. A Crunch Wrap Supreme, Burrito Supreme, Cinnamon Twist, a large drink, and featuring the new Volcano Taco. Eat like a man.
It was all over the place, literally. An IRA here, a bunch of funds there. That's why we kept putting off moving here. We thought it'd be a nightmare. But actually, with Schwab, it was the opposite. You get this concierge person. He did the paperwork, called the old firm for me, showed us around the website, all that stuff. It was a breeze.
They're here.
No, they're not here. We forgot to switch to DirecTV, so we're stuck watching cable.
Get 3 times more HD channels than cable.
It's too bad your vehicle's warning signs aren't this easy to spot. Fortunately, though, there are Napa Auto Care Centers where professional technicians will give your vehicle the preventive maintenance it needs to improve your gas mileage and possibly avoid major problems down the road. Napa. Get the...
Susan first came to us with a problem booking vacations. She'd be 1 click away when her fear that the price would drop left her paralyzed. So we started her treatment with Orbit's price assurance to create a safe booking environment. Ah, the joy on Susan's face when she booked that trip. This is important stuff we're doing.
Orbit's price assurance. If another customer books the same flight for less, we'll automatically send you the difference in cash.
The MLB Division Series on TBS is brought to you by Holiday Inn. Earn bonus points in MLB tickets. Visit holidayinn.com/baseball for more information. And by DHL, delivering America's pastime on time.
Sean Marshall facing Matt Kemp in the Dodgers 6th. The Dodgers leading 3-0 and trying to sweep the Cubs in what would be a stunning surprise when you consider the Cubs with 97 wins, easily the best team in the American National League this year, And the Dodgers winning the West. And the Cubs favored. Dodgers winning the first two at Wrigley Field and in front 3-0 here. 1-1 to Kemp. Fouled at the plate. Kemp, who was recruited out of the University of Oklahoma to play basketball.
My guy to my right knew a little bit about playing baseball and basketball.
Well, you know, he's kind of, Kemp is kind of like work in progress. Yeah. He's getting better and better at this game.
And swings and misses for strike 3. First strikeout for Marshall, who has retired all 3 batters he has faced. Well, Boys and Girls Clubs of America is the official charity of Major League Baseball, reaching more than 4 million kids worldwide. Together, they create a positive place for kids. Bullpen activity for both clubs. Carlos Marmol in the Cubs bullpen, and Corey Wade, who has pitched twice and pitched well each time, warming up for the Dodgers. Here's Blake DeWitt, call strike 1.
I'll tell you, Marshall has been very impressive in his 2 outings here in the NLDS.
And the count 1-1, and you talked about his future as a starter. He started 24 games as a rookie, 19 games last year.
You know, Dick, he's got all the pitches. It's just that he hasn't had the control yet at this point in his career. Once he puts that together, that big curveball is going to be very, very effective.
Fouls off the 1-1 pitch. Ball and 2 strikes to DeWitt. Rich Harden was the starter, and there you see Corey Wade and Marmol in the Cubs bullpen. Rich Harden working 4 to 3rd innings, allowing 3 runs all earned on 5 hits, struck out 4 and walked 3. 2 of them were intentional passes. And a line drive right field to Rosa, and it's over his head and off the wall. And going into second base with a double is Blake DeWitt. His second double of the series and the 3rd hit, and it comes with 1 away.
Well, this is what they love about DeWitt. He's got a certain toughness to him as a player. With all the other left-handers looking overmatched against Marshall, he gets a pitch, well, on the inside part of the plate, but he's able to turn on it. And I think in right field with DeRosa back there, doesn't have the speed right now with that bad calf to get back there in time and even attempt to play.
Yep. Nice bit of hitting.
And Lou Piniella will come out to the mound, and he's going to bring in Marmol here, and that'll be all for Sean Marshall. The Dodgers threaten, and they have the 3-0 lead in what could be the deciding game.
So, how's my day look?
Well, 9:30 to 1, you send funny pics to your wife. From 1 to 1:15, texting your son throughout recess. 1:15 to 3, exchanging flicks with your daughter. 3 to 4, texting aimlessly to everyone. And at 4, a budget meeting. I can push the meeting to another day.
Let's go with that.
Okay.
Share more with your family with a Verizon Wireless Select plan. Text, pics, IM, and flicks as much as you want for one flat rate. Get the Samsung Glide for just $79.99. Verizon Wireless.
All right, sports fans, it's time to find Geico's Ultimate Fan. Tonight's winner will receive Geico t-shirts, hats, and an upgrade to courtside seats, and could star in a real Geico commercial. Let's see who it's gonna be. It looks like we have a winner. Yes, we do, folks. How about that? Congratulations. And remember, saving money at Geico.com, so easy a caveman can do it.
And a new pitcher is in for the Cubs, and right now here is tonight's Travelers mid-game recap. James Loney with the 2-run double to put the Cubs in front 1-0. Or the Dodgers jumping on the Cubs, and Hiroki Kuroda with 6 scoreless innings. And the Dodgers getting solid pitching, timely hitting, and now leading by a score of 3-0 and threatening for more. And Carlos Marmol in for Sean Marshall, third pitcher of the night for the Cubs.
Well, nice job by Marshall. That hit to DeWitt, but Marmol has been their best setup man all season long. 82 games appeared. And look at the strikeouts. 2 innings pitched, 114, 87 in the third, as he is the epitome of a power pitcher.
So the Cubs have made some outfield moves as well, in addition to Marmol coming in. Kosuke Fukudome has gone into play center field, replacing Jim Edmonds. So Fukudome, an outstanding fielder, who was practically announced by Lou Piniella would not be playing anymore in this series, is in this game, and he'll be at center field replacing Edmonds.
That play wasn't, that double switch wasn't what made as much for Fukudome as it was to keep Marmol in the game longer.
And Casey Blake. So Fukudome would be the third hitter in the 7th inning. And of course, he's been hitless, and the reason why not playing in this game is because he has struggled at the plate and has for the last 2 months. Count to Casey Blake, 1 ball and 1 strike. He's 0 for 2 in the game. Blake DeWitt is on at second with 1 out, 3-0 in favor of the Dodgers. And Carlos Marmol, who faced the Dodgers in the 8th inning in game 2 and gave up a couple of runs on 3 hits, now 1-2 to Blake. And Kuroda on deck and swinging a bat on deck. And we'll see what the Dodgers do. There is Jeff Kent with a bat in the dugout, and a foul out of play. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Blake.
Well, we saw Chan Ho Park warming up in the bullpen, and now Wade is warming up in the bullpen. And Kuroda's just kind of rolling along right now. I don't know if Joe's ready to take him out of the game.
And a slow ground ball hit to Theriot, and makes the play at first for the 2nd out as DeWitt goes to 3rd. Well, coming to TNT, sometimes bad guys make the best good guys. See Academy Award winner Timothy Hutton in the all-new TNT series Leverage this December, only on TNT. You saw Corey Wade in the Dodger bullpen.
Well, I think what happened is Jeff Kent goes down the runway, not to hit here. If Blake had hit maybe a double and you had 2nd and 3rd and 2 outs, then you might have seen Kent.
And Kuroda fouls off the first pitch for a strike, 0 for 2.
Just to try to add on runs. That's probably the only time you'd have taken Kuroda out, because the way he's throwing, you'd want to stay with the hot hand.
That's one thing the Dodgers have done very well. Joe Torre's team adding on runs. In the 2nd game, they had 5 in the 2nd and added on 5 more from the 5th inning on. And in the first game of the series, after Loney's grand slam in the 5th inning, got single runs in the 7th and 8th to really put the game out of reach. There's Manny Ramirez, who has been walked twice intentionally, but has a base hit.
You know, Marmol's slider, though, is so nasty that Soto's got to be ready. Guy on 3rd.
And Kuroda strikes out, and that'll do it. The Dodgers leave DeWitt at 3rd. We go to the 7th, 3-0 in favor of Los Angeles.
For the price of lunch in a bag, how about a real lunch instead? With people and silverware and lots of choice. Applebee's Pick and Pair Lunch Combos, starting at just $5.99. Over 75 combinations of soups, salads, sandwiches, and pasta. From grilled shrimp and spinach salad to 3-cheese chicken penne. Try finding lunch like that at a drive-thru. Applebee's Pick and Pair Lunch Combo, starting at $5.99. It's the best meal and the best deal in the neighborhood.
Turbo HD from Dish Network is the complete high-definition experience. Frank, imagine, if you will, me in 3 dimensions. No, not 3D, high-def, HD. Whatever. A picture so good, it's like I'm actually in your home. You could reach out and touch me. Go on, try to touch me. I'd rather not. How about a hug? No. This is awkward.
Get Turbo HD by Dish Network, the 100% HD service. Plus, get HBO and Stars free for 3 months.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Morning, Mr. Bill. Here you go.
Thanks, Mr. Hands. No, wait. Oh!
Coffee. $2 on debit MasterCard.
I always wanted brown shoes.
Your personal trainer says to step it up a notch.
No, wait.
Gym membership. $59 a month.
Good. There's a bike open. What a day.
Briefcase. $120.
Wait.
Time to pack up, Mr. Bill.
Oh, no.
Making it through the day.
Hey, the bus is right on schedule.
Priceless. For whatever comes your way, there's debit MasterCard.
It's the American League Division Series. Exhibit A, K-Rod, Vladdy, and the Halos have a mission. 100 wins. Defeat the nation that knocked them out twice before.
What a thing of beauty.
Exhibit B, Poppy, Becky, Pedroia, and the rest of the Red Sox are looking to repeat. Angels, Red Sox. It's a series you'll have to see.
Oh, man.
There's only one October.
National League Division Series coverage on TBS is presented by BlackBerry. It's 3-0 in favor of the Dodgers, guys, and right now the Cubs are down to their last 9 outs.
Well, it's just a great job by the Dodgers starting pitchers to go deep into games, to limit the Cubs, but the Cubs offense is dried up, Tony.
Yeah, they had some opportunities early to put a run on the board. They haven't been able to do it. Maybe they can do it in the last 3 innings, find a way to put some runs on the board.
Well, everyone keeps waiting for the Cubs to show something, but as Mark DeRosa takes strike one, the question has to be, where is the indication that we've seen it all in the series that the Cubs are going to start to do that?
We're still waiting.
And there's a ground ball, the shortstop for Call. Throws out DeRosa, 1 away here in the 7th.
Well, you know what Kuroda's done so well is that against the left-handers, he's used his breaking ball as a pitch that he can throw over. Just spin it and get a strike on the first pitch. If you're a left-handed hitter, you have to take that pitch. And then against a right-hander, really snaps it off and uses it as a strikeout pitch. So Kuroda shows us how you can use 2 different breaking balls in 2 different ways. One to get a strike, one to get a strikeout.
And the first pitch is a ball to Ryan Theriot. And interesting, Kuroda has been very strong at the beginning and end of games this year. And another roller to shortstop, backhanded, and unable to handle it is for Call. And Theriot is on at first base.
Just the way he went after that ball, he was going to have a hard time throwing Theriot out at first anyway.
You're right. If they're a hitter who doesn't run as well, you kind of come around this ball and field it coming towards first base. But he knew he had to get it quickly and get it over there.
And a base hit for Theriot. Tough play for Call. So 1 out infield hit, and here is Kosuke Fukudome, who is 0 for 8 in this series and has struck out 3 times. So just when you need him, here he is, and the Cubs almost had to put him away for good after the first 2.
You know, we've talked about all through the course of this game tonight, who's going to be the guy, who's going to step up there and give a positive swing, get some positive results.
And he's looked awkward at the plate when he has missed, but he takes down low 2-0. So you never know what happens in the game. Lou Piniella has been telling us throughout the whole series, look, you plan certain things. Dempster, good at home. What happens?
Yeah.
He can't win at home. And now here is Fukudome, who was relegated to reserve status the rest of the series for as long as it went, and they need him now. 1 out, runner at first base is Theriot. Slaps it out of play to the left side. It's 2-1.
Well, I think those will be probably the 2 biggest questions that the Chicago media will, of course, address Lou with, is that his decision to bank on Fukudome playing a big part in the series, and then going with Dempster with his great home record over Zambrano, who's been traditionally their ace since 2005.
So Fukudome trying to help his team. Theriot with the lead at first. Dodgers lead it 3-0 in the 7th. And a call, strike 2. Looked like Fukudome almost offered at that pitch. Pulled it back.
Well, when you're going well, as Kuroda is right now, you are hitting your spots on 2-1 pitches.
Yep. And when you're going bad, like Fukudome's going right now, that's a 3-1 ball or 2-1 ball, or you're hitting that ball right back up the box.
And a base hit to center field by Fukudome. His first hit of the series. And the Cubs now have runners at first and second and 1 out. And the tying run coming to the plate, Alfonso Soriano and Joe Torre coming to the mound to get Kuroda. And Corey Wade will be making his 3rd consecutive appearance in this series. And you'll hear the crowd reaction for Kuroda, who threw 101 pitches tonight. Standing O for Kuroda.
Close the office today, JB?
Yeah, right. Watch this.
Bob Johnson.
Johnson, where's the shipment from Shanghai?
DHL cleared customs in the air and is scheduled to arrive at noon.
All right.
What about New Haven?
Left New York at 8:11 a.m. and is currently on a truck.
Johnson?
Sir?
We get tracking information sent to you anytime, anywhere. DHL. Ground, international, overnight. Customer service is back in shipping.
For the price of lunch in a bag, how about a real lunch instead? With people and silverware and lots of choice. Applebee's Pick and Pair Lunch Combos, starting at just $5.99. Over 75 combinations of soups, salads, sandwiches, and pasta. From grilled shrimp and spinach salad to 3-cheese chicken penne. Try finding lunch like that at a drive-thru. Applebee's Pick and Pair Lunch Combos, starting at $5.99. It's the best meal and the best deal in the neighborhood.
So Kuroda is finished for the night, allowing 6 hits and responsible for the runners on base for the Dodgers. And the new pitcher, Corey Wade, 24-year-old rookie from Ogden, Utah, who has pitched well in this series.
Well, and often 2 1/3 innings in this series, only giving up a hit, strikeout. He's been impeccable with that control, especially inside to the right-handed hitters with that good fastball.
Take a look at that last base hit by Fukudome. See, it's a backdoor breaking ball, and this time he stays back long enough to line it right back up the box. And here's a great shot of him getting his arms extended, kind of a long backside, but waits long enough for that ball to get deep, and he goes right back up the middle with it.
And that was the Kosuke Fukudome that the Cubs enjoyed for most of the year and helped him establish the lead in the NL Central. And first hit in 9 trips. So here is Soriano, the tying run at the plate. And Soriano had 29 home runs this year, knocking in 75. Be interesting to see how Soriano plays it, knowing he has the power to tie the score, but the Cubs need to get on the board some way. They haven't anything going for them so far. And swings at the first pitch and hits it in the air to right field, and Andre Ethier makes the catch. A bluff, no tag up. So Soriano retired for the 4th time, Tom Verducci, and again having his problems in postseason.
Yeah, you know, Alfonso Soriano came into this game as a .219 career hitter in the postseason. It's gotten no better tonight. You know, normally during the course of the season, Dick, the advanced scouts will sit on a team for a series, maybe 2 series. But as Lou Piniella pointed out, the Dodgers have been sitting on the Cubs here for 3 weeks. They know every single weakness on this team. And when you get into a postseason situation, there are fewer mistakes made by pitchers. Soriano is a great mistake hitter. Hasn't seen many in this series.
Well, they've done their homework on Soriano, and With 2 down, Mike Fontenot takes strike 1. I mean, he's a leadoff hitter who has power, but right now what the Cubs need is to get runners, keep runners on base and get runs.
Yeah, they need base runners.
They don't need 3 on 1 swing. Pitch outside for the ball, 1-1 to Fontenot, who is 1 for 3 with a single.
I'm wondering if Fukudome, in a season that's been lost in the second half, felt out of sorts and lost, felt a little more at home against the Japanese pitcher Fukudome.
Yeah, maybe so.
Fukudome against Kuroda.
And they were longtime opponents, and the ball getting away from Russell Martin. Throw to third, safe at third is Theriot, and holding at first base is Fukudome. And a wild pitch is charged to Corey Wade, and the Cubs now with runners at first and third.
Well, just a good block by Martin. Couldn't keep it in front of him, but really risky play, Tony, for Theriot. But he is that kind of player. Go get him kind of player. The problem is they still have the force because Fukudome did not follow him.
Jonathan Broxton is up in the Dodger bullpen. He too has appeared in the first 2 games in the series. That very nearly got away on that pitch inside from Russell Martin. And it's 3 balls and a strike to Fontenot with Derek Lee on deck for the Cubs. Story has been runners in scoring position. First 2 games 4 for 17, and tonight 0 for 6. And it's popped out of play, and the count remains 3-2.
Well, right here, Fontenot, it does have some power, but not a lot. You've got to get him out or go after him.
That's
with Derek Lee on deck.
That's what I would say. I would go after him. 3-2, whatever you feel like you can throw for a strike right here. Put it in a good spot.
Preferably something away. The worst you can do is a single to left, single up the middle, something down.
Best chance the Cubs have had in a lot of areas. First and third, and a line drive to center field, and making the catch was Matt Kemp, as that ball seemed to be rising as it went out there. But Corey Wade gets out of it. 2 hits, 2 left. We go to the last of the 7th, the home 7th, 3-0.
Now more than ever, you want to get the most for your money. Look no further than the mid-size 2008 Kia Sorento. A powerful V6 engine, 5-star safety rated, backed by an industry-leading warranty, and it's priced about $6,300 less than a Toyota Highlander V6. Or to put it another way, a year of college tuition less. The 2008 Kia Sorento. It's money well saved. Hurry in and get the 2008 Kia Sorento starting under $16,700 after $5,000 cash back.
It's game time. Skybox is right up here in section la-di-da. How's everybody doing? Can anybody tell me what inning we're in? All right, boys, we take it back to high life. See, the high life is about sitting in the sun and watching your favorite pitcher get lit up. Take him out. Man, they can't even hear me through this glass. Come on, boys. Need to smell me a hot dog or something. Just know I'm alive. Woo! Let me pass out some high life.
Hello and welcome. Please listen closely as I demonstrate the safe and simple features of this pay-per-view experience. First, make sure your receiver is securely fastened to a phone line. Then, using your remote control, carefully tune to your pay-per-view movie or event and press firmly on the select button. You can also order online or feel free to use the phone, but your remote is your best option. And finally, please sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
For great college football from across the country, you need ESPN Game Plan from DirecTV.
With key matchups and rivalries from major conferences, ESPN Game Plan has up to 12 games every Saturday from outside your local area. Order now and you'll be all set for a full season of college football with ESPN Game Plan from DirecTV. Only 2 payments of $64.50 each. To order, call 1-800-GET-SPORTS or go to directv.com/gameplan.
Get exclusive camera angles, behind-the-scenes info, and more online with TBS Hot Corner. Check it out now at MLB.com/TBS Hot Corner. Well, the Dodgers get out of more trouble, and here in the 7th inning, it's the top of the order. Rafael Furcal facing Carlos Marmol. Furcal is 1 for 2 with a walk, has scored 2 runs tonight. Takes strike 1.
There's been a lot of fight in these Cubbies tonight, though. Fondo hit that ball right on the screws. Just could not find a home.
Hit it to the wrong spot of the diamond. If it goes to left or to right, he's going to have a chance for extra bases.
And it's fouled off, and the count 0-2. How about the Dodgers' first 3 batters hitting .406 in this series, 13 for 32, and it's been the same lineup for 3 games, guys, for Call, Martin, and Manny Ramirez.
They set the table. Furcal and Martin have set the tables for the middle guys in the lineup.
Theriot throws out for Call, and there's 1 out. Right now, here's Ernie Johnson in Atlanta with a game break.
All right, thank you very much, Dick. Earlier tonight, the Milwaukee Brewers stayed alive. Phillies had the tying run at the plate in the 9th, but Carlos Ruiz taps back to Salomon Torres. There will be a Game 4 in that series as the Brewers win it 4-1. You'll see it at 1 o'clock, Game 4 tomorrow right here on TBS. Back to L.A. Dick.
All right, Ernie, thank you very much. Looking forward to that Game 4 as the Brewers get back home and come alive. Dodgers looking for the sweep. Here's Russell Martin, takes ball 1. Martin has 2 doubles and an RBI. So of his 4 hits in the series, all have been of the extra base variety. And a long face for Lou Piniella right now as the Dodgers right now leading 3-0, have kept the Cubs off the board.
Well, interesting for Joe Torre, Dodgers bullpen silent. Wade might get himself another inning.
Meanwhile, Neil Kotz for the Cubs warming up. There's a breaking pitch over for the strike, 2-1.
Now, earlier I talked about flinching or a jelly leg against a left-hander. You just saw Russell Martin do it against a right-hander, and that you don't see that very often.
Tony, I spent my whole offensive career doing that. I got that down to an art form.
And Martin pops it out to short left center field. Soriano coming in, and it's the center fielder Fukudome making the catch for out number 2. And here's Manny Ramirez. And what a postseason he has had. 97 career postseason games, starting with the Indians and then the Red Sox, and of course now with the Dodgers. 26 home runs. The all-time Major League Baseball postseason leader. 67 RBIs, and of the 26 home runs, 16 on the road. And the MVP in the 2004 World Series. So he plays big when the games are big. And here's Manny, 1 for 1. He's been on base 3 times, was walked intentionally twice.
Against the best pitchers in the game.
In the biggest situations.
That's at bats of Mariano Rivera.
Yeah.
2 down in the 7th inning. Marmol trying to set down the Dodgers. And for the Cubs in the 8th, they'll have the heart of the order. Derek Lee, Aramis Ramirez, and Giovanni Soto. And they have managed 3 of the Cubs' 6 hits thus far. But here's Manny, and they loved him from the start. And a check swing, but a strike. It's interesting that the Red Sox trade Manny Ramirez, and then they acquired Jason Bay. And Jason Bay, in effect, not as colorful, but has been really Manny Ramirez for the Red Sox in postseason. He has hit 2 homers in as many games against the Angels. 1-1. And the check swing did not go around, says Tom Hallion, and it's 2-1.
You know, the thing to look for here, Manny is so under control. But against a guy like Marmol, who's got an electric breaking ball and better than average stuff on the fastball, you see he hasn't changed a thing. He's under control.
Drop down on this and hits the fly ball that DeRosa should handle in right field, and Marmol retires the Dodgers in the 7th. But the game moves along, and time is getting short. The Dodgers lead 3-0. Cubs coming up in the 8th.
I am so rich that I can buy the best seats at a baseball game. How good? I once sat on A-Rod's shoulders for an entire game. He had no choice. I paid 6 figures for those seats.
All new episodes. All new characters.
Oh, my legs are jamming!
All new sketches.
And take a look at my eyebrows. The kind of thing you'd see at a car wash.
Fright TV, TBS Tuesdays, starting October 21st.
Only on TBS. Very funny.
All right. Who ate my volcano taco?
Don't look at me.
Introducing Taco Bell's new 89-cent Volcano Taco. With spicy lava sauce, it could be the spiciest taco ever.
Oh, was me.
Why pay more for heat when you can think outside the bun?
They're here.
No, they're not here. We forgot to switch to DirecTV, so we're stuck watching cable.
Get 3 times more HD channels than cable.
I got Eve.
Suck it, devil, rabbit.
Let's do this.
I'm almost there.
All right, you ready? Let's go.
Wow.
This is too weird.
Totally random.
They've got a little captain in them. Got a little captain in you. Drink responsibly.
Nice flight, Captain.
When this 250-ton aircraft touches down at 155 miles per hour, I know what I can rely on. These tires. For a smooth and safe landing.
Bridgestone tires in aviation.
Bridgestone.
Consistency pays off in business, travel, and baseball. Isn't that right, Cal?
That's right. What is Cal Ripken Jr. doing here?
Consistency earned him the nickname the Iron Man.
What will consistently staying at the Holiday Inn get me?
You could get you official MLB merchandise and tickets.
Could it get us all nicknames?
Like what?
Mrs. Ripken Jr.?
Bob.
Snake Eyes?
Really?
The more you stay, the more you earn. Holiday Inn.
Cubs are batting in the 8th inning and trailing the Dodgers 3-0. And Derek Lee's first pitch to him is ball 1-0. Angel Baroa has replaced Blake DeWitt in second base, as has been the MO for Joe Torre in all 3 games of this series. Check swing, and it's 2-0 to Derek Lee. Lee is 2 for 3 with a double and a single. And really upset when he struck out in his last at bat. There is Baroa, who started over 60 games for college shortstop this year. Call strike to Lee 2-1, acquired in a trade with Kansas City.
Good hitting there, Tony, right? You have to take that pitch down 3.
This stage of the game.
And a shot hit to left field. Manny Ramirez looking over, and it bounces off the wall on a bounce. And going into second with a double is Derek Lee. Over the head of Ramirez, bounced, and then hit the wall. And Lee, with his 3rd hit of the game, leading off with a double. So Tom Verducci, I mean, he's one of the run producers, and he has had to lead off in this situation.
Well, you don't think of Derek Lee as a prototypical leadoff hitter, certainly, but the Dodgers have turned him into one. He's batted 5 times in this series now, leading off an inning. And he's batted with only 3 runners on base. Dick, you talked about the top of that Dodger lineup. That tells you that the top of the Cubs lineup has not been getting on base for Derek Lee.
Exactly right. And Aramis Ramirez takes ball one outside. Jonathan Broxton is warming up in the Dodger bullpen, and left-hander Joe Beimel has joined him. Beimel, the left-hander, on the left. So the Cubs down by 3 and have a runner at second with nobody out. And there's a strike. 1-1 to Ramirez, who's 0 for 2, walked his first time up.
Wade has appeared in the first 2 games. Now here in this one, first 2 games his ball was down in the strike zone, coming up a little here.
Wade retired the last 2 hitters of the 7th inning. Cubs have 3 doubles tonight, and the Dodgers have 4. There's Soto waiting on deck for Chicago. Out of play, and it's 1-2. Talk about the top 3 hitters and how successful they've been for the Dodgers. Well, the top 2 hitters, the catalyst, so to speak, for the Cubs, Soriano and Theriot, and tonight Fontenot, combined 2 for 25. So thus Lee has not been able to come up with men on base. But he's at second base with his 3rd hit of the game. Cubs trying to stage a rally in the 8th inning, trying to avoid a sweep tonight. And a breaking ball out of play to the right. And there you see the Cubs' problems in the field. And all of the infielders making errors. There you see the 97 wins in the regular year, averaging only 2.5 runs per game here. Ramirez strikes out for the first out. One out to Giovanni Soto, who is 1 for 3 with a double, struck out his last time up. So Aramis Ramirez now 2 for 11 in the series as the cleanup hitter for the Cubs. Breaking ball in for the strike. The pitcher spot is on deck for the Cubs when they made the double switch and put Fukudome in the outfield. Darrell Ward swinging a bat. 1-1.
I think that's why Beimel's up in the bullpen.
And it's popped up to the infield. Furcal waves everyone away. And there are 2 down.
You know what's reminded me of, Tony?
What's that?
The offense reminds me of when you get an extra inning games, and everyone that comes to the plate wants to get the big hit, a home run, walk-off home run. That's how it seemed in this inning with Ramirez and Soto.
Well, at this point, you only got one man on base, so you got to keep getting guys out there to get the time run an opportunity.
Darrell Ward will pinch hit for Marmol. Ward took a called 3rd strike in a pinch hitting role in the 2nd game of the series and bounced out to first base. So he's 0 for 2 as a pinch hitter. Swings and misses for a strike. 8 for 55 for Ward as a pinch hitter this year.
Remember, Joe has ultimate confidence in Wade against the left-hander. Fukudome was announced to come in to hit, and he brought Wade in, the right-hander, to face him in a key situation.
2 down and 1 strike to count. Lee with the leadoff double is on at second base. That's the 2nd time tonight the Cubs have had a leadoff runner at second. Soto leading off the 4th with a double. And there you see, as Tom Verducci pointed out, the body language. The Dodgers on the top step of their dugout and the Cubs sitting on the bench.
How many times this series have we seen the Cubs get that guy to second base to start an inning and not move him? Derek Lee has not moved.
And the only time they really had the lead in the series was when DeRosa hit the 2-run homer in the second inning, and you thought that the Cubs were off and running in the first game of that series against Derek Lowe, but he settled down, and Ryan Dempster walked 7 batters, and James Loney hit a grand slam homer to put the Dodgers ahead for good, and they have not trailed in this series since. Strike 2, 2 balls and 2 strikes to Ward. A sea of white flags at Dodger Stadium, and a looper into center field, charging, and it'll drop in front of Matt Kemp. Coming around to score is Derek Lee, and it's now 3-1. So with the crowd all excited and waiting for a strikeout, Ward keeps it alive with a base hit and an RBI. And now DeRosa coming up as the tying run at the plate and the call going out to the Dodger bullpen.
Well, the biggest hit they've gotten all year was by Ward right there. Look at that bench. You got the guys up off the bench.
They hadn't seen it. They hadn't seen it since DeRosa's homer in game 1.
And Joe Torre is coming out to make a change, and Jonathan Broxton, the right-hander, ready to come in to face DeRosa. We'll be right back.
See the biggest names in comedy at Caesars Palace, Las Vegas, including Jerry, Ellen, Dane, Tracy, a celebrity roast of Cheech and Chong, and many more live. TBS presents the Comedy Festival, November 20th through the 22nd. Buy tickets now at thecomedyfestival.com.
Hello and welcome. Please listen closely as I demonstrate the safe and simple features of this pay-per-view experience. First, make sure your receiver is securely fastened to a phone line. Then, using your remote control, carefully tune to your pay-per-view movie or event and press firmly on the select button. You can also order online or feel free to use the phone, but your remote is your best option. And finally, please sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
For great college football from across the country, you need ESPN Game Plan from DirecTV. With key matchups and rivalries from major conferences, ESPN Game Plan has up to 12 games every Saturday from outside your local area. Order now and you'll be all set for a full season of college football with ESPN Game Plan from DirecTV. Only 2 payments of $64.50 each. To order, call 1-800-GET-SPORTS or go to directv.com/gameplan.
Jonathan Broxton is the new pitcher for the Dodgers, and making his 3rd appearance in as many games in this series, and will be facing Mark DeRosa, who came in the game 4 for 8 and the big 2-run homer to put him in the lead. This season, career highs for DeRosa. 87 runs batted in, 21 homers, scoring 103. And then he was 2 for 4 in each of the first 2 games of this series, and gave the Cubs their only lead in the series, as we mentioned, with the 2-run homer in inning number 2 Wednesday night.
Well, right place for the right guy. But you got to go through Jonathan Broxton, all 290 pounds of him. 95-mile-an-hour fastball. He's got a great razor blade slider. Look at that, 88 Ks, only 27 walks.
Ronnie Cedeno has gone in to pinch run for Darrell Ward. There is Cedeno. So here's DeRosa, who's retired 3 times on ground balls tonight, but facing Broxton here. Never faced Jonathan Broxton. Tying run at the plate. 3-1 the score, and a strike to DeRosa.
Well, you hate to say this is a pitch to hit, Tony, right? Slider first pitch.
Well, he's trusting his game plan. He didn't want to just jump out there and swing at anything.
The 0-1, there goes the runner. Pitch up high, and no throw by Martin. And in at second with the stolen base is Ronnie Cedeno. And the count 1-1 to Mark DeRosa.
This is what you'll get when you have a setup man like Jonathan Broxton. Usually starts the 8th inning, never has to worry about base runner, and sometimes when they come in the middle of the inning, they forget that there's a guy on first.
Well, another base hit right here, and the Cubs are right back in this game.
One pitch. Misses it, and it's a ball and 2 strikes. And in case you're wondering, Takashi Saito, who did not retire a batter, gave up 3 hits, did not give a good account of himself at all in Game 2, would be the closer for Joe Torre.
He might reevaluate with the way Broxton's throwing right now.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Cedeno is on at second. Cubs with a run in. It's 3-1. And a fly ball down the right field line, drifting out of play. So Broxton with a 99-mile-per-hour fastball.
Cut it a little, Dick. He didn't let it go.
He's got more in reserve.
Yeah.
Is that what you're telling me? That's Cedeno at second. Dodgers trying to hang on and win their first postseason series since 1988, 20 years ago. They're leading by 2 runs. The 1-2, and another foul out of play. DeRosa has 4 runs batted in this series, and trying to get the run home at least.
Well, he got away with this one. Another one right in the middle of the plate, but you have to be so conscious of how hard he throws.
Yep. And even we talked about it the other night. He can get away with that hanging breaking ball because he's got velocity. And with velocity, you have to commit to the fastball and try to adjust on anything else. You saw DeRosa trying to adjust to that hanging breaking ball. A little bit behind it.
1 ball, 2 strikes. DeRosa fouling off several to stay alive. Strikes out, and Broxton comes in to strike out DeRosa and end the threat. The Cubs get a run, and the Dodgers come up in the bottom of the 8th inning, leading 3-1.
Costume party.
Yeah, no.
No means no.
Let me guess. No? Yep. Yes? No, I meant yes to your no.
No. Yes.
Yes!
This Christmas.
You're going to say yes to everything.
I wasn't open to stuff. Now I am. Things are changing for me.
Yes is the new no. Jim Carrey.
Yes!
Yes, man.
Would I like to increase the size of my... Like I need that.
In theaters this December.
Ground ball right side, base hit. Tying run is in. 2 down, bottom of the 9th. Driver in the air, deep left field. Cubs win. A game-winning 2-run homer. Cubs win again.
You know that place where the love of the game is the real souvenir? I'm there.
State Farm, proud sponsor of Major League Moments everywhere.
Are you in?
I wouldn't miss this.
He's greedy, thinks he's smart, he's the best kind of mark.
Element of surprise.
Let's go break the law just one more time.
We provide leverage.
Academy Award winner Timothy Hutton.
We're on the count. 5.
She's gone.
Son of a...
Man, why can't they all be this easy?
Leverage premieres this December, only on TNT.
See the biggest names in comedy at Caesars Palace, Las Vegas, including Jerry, Ellen, Dane, Tracy, a celebrity roast of Cheech and Chong, and many more live. TBS presents the Comedy Festival, November 20th through the 22nd. Buy tickets now at thecomedyfestival.com.
TBS is the home of the MLB postseason. The Brewers look to even the series, then the Rays try to close out the Sox. Next, an Angels-Red Sox showdown. Finally, the Cubs look to steal a game in L.A. Don't miss MLB postseason drama tomorrow at 1. Division Series coverage on TBS presented by BlackBerry.
Well, this is an emotional series for the Los Angeles Dodgers. Look at the emotion of Jonathan Broxton with that slider to DeRosa with a strikeout. Corey Wade says, thanks for saving my bacon. And we've seen a lot of the Cub hitters walking back in this great pitched game, great pitched series by the Dodgers.
And they're feeling it now. There's no question about it. And Andre Ethier fouls off the first pitch from the new hurler, Neil Kotz, the fourth pitcher of the night for the Cubs. Ethier is 0 for 3 in this game. The Dodgers up 3-1. Ethier followed by James Loney and Matt Kemp. Leading 3-1. Missed the pitch. And it's 0-2 now to Ethier. Neil Kotz pitched in the second game of the series, worked 2/3 of an inning. Allowed a hit. Walked a batter. Still 0-2. So for Lou Piniella, who last year the Cubs going down in 3 straight to the Arizona Diamondbacks, and on the brink of doing the same this time to the Dodgers a year later. Taken for a ball, 1-2.
Well, to just think about how long ago it was since the Dodgers won a playoff series. I was still pitching, and in this presidential season, Ronald Reagan was president.
That's right.
That's
20
a long
years
time ago.
20 years, no matter how you slice it, out of play. Tony,
Yep.
20 years ago, where were you?
20 years ago, 88, losing to the Dodgers in, when they won the division. Went to the World Series, played Oakland. Was it Oakland that year, 88?
Yeah,
yes, it was. The year of the Kirk Gibson home run. One of the great dramatic World Series homers.
Yeah, Kirk Gibson came over to L.A. and just carried that team almost, well, him and Earl Hershiser.
Yeah.
Those two guys carried that team right through the World Series.
The MVP.
And, of course, he hit the home run. We don't want to make him feel bad off of our buddy Dennis Eckersley, who's in our studio in Atlanta.
Well, he would call it, as Eck would call it, a walk-off piece.
Here's the 1-2 pitch. Fastball, and Ethier goes down. Well, here is the last out of that 1988 World Series. Orel Hershiser striking out Tony Phillips as the Dodgers won the World Championship over the Oakland A's. And that was the last series win of any kind in postseason by the Dodgers, and they're right on the brink of what would be their first sweep. And I think that's amazing, of an opponent since 1963. Sandy Koufax and company against the Yankees. And a strike on the inside corner to Lona.
Orel was so unbelievable that year. He finished off those 59 straight complete, the straight scoreless innings against your team.
Yeah, he was lucky that night because Andy Hawkins matched him and gave him a chance to break that record.
Foul out of play. By the way, Ryan Dempster is throwing for the Cubs. He was the first game starter and loser. And here is tonight's Sharp Aquas game-changing play, and it's the man at the plate, James Loney, who doubled to the fence in right field, scoring 2 runs. And Dodgers adding another, and the Cubs coming back for 1, but it's 3-1 right now. And fighting at the plate is Loney here, and the count, no balls, 2 strikes with 1 out.
I'll tell you what, you saw it with Ethier the last at bat, and James Loney here. They're taking their swings. Yeah. They're getting their hack on. Kotz has gotten some balls up, and they're not afraid. They're taking some swings.
And swung on a miss, strike 3, foul tipped into the glove of Giovanni Soto. So 2 strikeouts and 2 outs for Neil Kotz. Tomorrow on CBS, I want to remind you our division series coverage continues. Phils and Brewers, game 4 from Milwaukee. Then the Rays take on the White Sox, game 3 of their series, followed by the Angels and the Red Sox, game 3 from Boston. Coverage begins at 12:30 Eastern time with TBS MLB on deck. Of course, Cubs need a rally to make a game 4 possible tomorrow night. here at Dodger Stadium, and Matt Kemp, the batter, 1-0 to him. Kemp 0 for 3. Fastball in for the strike, 1-1. The Dodgers have outscored the Cubs 20-6 in this series. And the only lead for Chicago was when DeRosa had homered in the second inning, and then Loney's grand slam erased that, and the Cubs have not been ahead since.
It's hard to play baseball when you're behind. It's hard when you're chasing. And the Cubs have been chasing since that grand slam by James Loney.
It's just never happened for the Cubs offensively in this series. They'll have one more chance.
That being said, they're a bloop and a blast for tying this game in the ninth. But
well, last inning they got the bloop that was setting up a possibility before DeRosa was fanned by Jonathan Broxton. Cubs twice tonight had leadoff doubles to start innings. 2 down, and the count 1-2 to Matt Kemp. Neil Kotz, the 4th pitcher of the night for the Cubs, and strikes out the side, getting Kemp. And we go now to the last at-bat for the Cubs. The Dodgers are 3 outs away from a shocking series sweep over Chicago.
We only got one room left, but I doubt you'll want it.
Why not?
It's a dead zone. Can't get your calls, your precious emails. It's like you don't even exist.
I've got the Verizon network.
You good? Oh. The towers are kind of scratchy.
We test America's largest 3G network every day. Verizon Wireless. Get the exclusive pink BlackBerry Curve, now just $99.
They're here.
No, honey, they're not here. We forgot to switch to DirecTV. So instead of watching our favorite channels in HD, we're stuck watching cable. Forgetting to switch to DirecTV? Yeah, that's going to come back to haunt me.
Get 3 times more HD channels than cable. Call 1-800-DirecTV.
Questi devono arrivare in America domani. Intatti, eh?
Non c'è problema.
DHL gets it there fast. And in one piece.
Perfect.
The rest is up to you. DHL, ground, overnight, international. Customer service is back in shipping.
Coming to DVD and Blu-ray. Adam Sandler in the butt-kicking.
Nelly, now take it.
Hair racing. Foot-flying comedy event of the year.
What are you, bionic? No, I only like the girls.
You don't mess with the Zohan on DVD and Blu-ray High Def October 7th.
Oh.
Got a little captain in you? Drink responsibly.
It's the American League Division Series. The Young Rays will be attending their first postseason party.
Rays win!
Longoria, Upton, Pena, they never stop believing.
Oh, boy!
They'll meet the South Side.
The White Sox are going to the playoffs!
Cabrera, Dye, Jr., and a team that has their own style.
Home Run City!
White Sox Rays, you're invited.
Start the celebration!
There's only one October.
National League Division Series coverage on TBS is presented by BlackBerry. And the Cubs are down to their last 3 outs. Jonathan Broxton here in the 9th inning. Tommy Lasorda. And right in front of him, Frank McCourt, the owner. And in front of them, wearing the Dodger jacket, is the mayor of Los Angeles, Antonio Villaraigosa, as Theriot takes strike 1. All trying to cheer the Dodgers on to a stunning sweep here in the LDS. Theriot 1 for 2 with a single and a walk tonight. And there's a strike, 0-2. Theriot 0 for 3 in his time against Jonathan Broxton. And the Dodgers in their bullpen have Takashi Saito, their closer. But they would like to see Broxton get it done here. 0-2 pitch. Strike 3, and there's one away. So Broxton now with 2 strikeouts with 2 batters faced. Here is Kosuke Fukudome, who went in and on a double switch to play center field, and in his 1 at bat singled in the 7th inning, his first hit of the series. 0-1 to Fukudome.
You know, you can only put the lineup out there, Tony.
Yep.
You know, this is going to be on his watch because he's the captain of this ship, but the players have to play at some point.
That's exactly right.
Call strike 2. Kuroda stands to win, and all 3 Dodgers starters in this series, Lowe, Billingsley, Kuroda, could get wins in this series. Getting a piece of it and fouling it off, and it's still 0-2 to Fukudome. And on deck is Alfonso Soriano. He's throwing in the high 90s, Ron.
He's throwing a little higher than that.
Yeah.
101. 101.
That's what it's going to be. How many years the Cubs have not won a world championship if they don't come through here in the 9th inning, unfortunately for the fans, the loyal fans of Chicago. One and 2 to Fukudome. Remember, the Cubs, Tony, and you said it, just need a base runner to bring the tying run to the plate here. Down by 2 runs.
Just like to get a base runner, get somebody on so the tying run can continue to come to the plate.
And it's 2 balls and 2 strikes to Kosuke Fukudome. Cubs got their only run last inning in the 8th on a pinch single by Darrell Ward. The 2-2 pitch. And a grounder to short for Call. 2 down. And now it's up to Alfonso Soriano, and how symbolic that is, Ron, that he would be the hitter. Cubs down to their last out of the series.
They thought he was going to be the man to lead them in this series. Could be the guy to end it.
0 for 4 tonight. 1 for 13 in the series. Strike 1. Ned Colletti just said one more. Dodger general manager. 0-2. Dodgers sweep. how improbable it was, guys, for the Dodgers to sweep the Cubs. A team can always win a short series. We've seen it before against a stronger opponent. But to be so decisive in every area of the game, impressive.
Well, maybe it's not improbable, though. When you look at the way they played with their relief pitching closing games like Jonathan Broxton, with the starters giving up only 18 2/3, 3 runs. Outstanding.
And Manny Ramirez got it started when he arrived on the scene, and the Dodgers advance to the National League Championship Series, and Manny Ramirez is down on the field with Tom Verducci.
Thanks, Dick. Manny Ramirez, right now, how much do you love LA?
Man, right now, this is the place to be, man. We're going to the second round. I did it before, and we will do it again.
Manny, 3 times on base again tonight, 2 home runs in the series. What is it about October that brings out the best in Manny Ramirez?
Nothing, I enjoy myself like I do during the season, and that's what it is, when you relax and you're in a place that you really like, this is what happened.
Manny, on August 29th, this team was on an 8-game losing streak, 5 games under 500. You're going to the National League Championship Series. How did that happen?
First, we're blessed. You got to thank God for, everybody to stay healthy. And I think you got to talk to Scott for bringing me to LA. And what else can I say, man? I'm happy to move on.
Congratulations, Manny.
Thanks.
Back to you, Dick.
Thank you, Tom. Manny Ramirez with 2 homers. James Loney with a grand slam. A lot of heroes for the Dodgers in these 3 games. And looking ahead to the possible opponents in the NLCS. Tied the season series with the Phillies 4-4. And they won the season series against the Brewers. Phillies lead the Brewers 2-1 in Game 4 tomorrow as Frank McCourt comes out on the field. Bedlam in Los Angeles as the Dodgers come home and finish the job. So for Ron Darling, Tony Gwynn, and Tom Verducci, I'm Dick Stockton saying so long from Los Angeles. The final score, the Dodgers 3 and the Cubs 1. Now it's time for Inside MLB, presented by Captain Morgan. And coming up, Ernie Johnson in Atlanta.
All right, Inside MLB comes your way in just a couple of minutes. The Cubs have lost 9 straight in the postseason. They scored 855 runs, best in the National League, and are outscored in this 3-game series, 20-6 by the Dodgers. Complete post-game coverage, all the highlights coming your way in just a couple of minutes.
The baseball playoffs are great because they make me forget that I'm the
Frank TV, Tuesday, starting October 21st.
Only on TBS. Very funny.
And this October, tune into TBS, the home of the MLB postseason.
How do you want to see the game? You want to be closer? Well, this is no ordinary ticket. This is your ticket to baseball heaven in high definition. Sharp Aqua's the official HD TV of Major League Baseball. And with a blazing 4-millisecond response time and a super fast refresh rate, there isn't a shot in the hole or a screamer down the line that will singe the hair in your nostrils. It will change your baseball loving life.
Aqua's LCD TV. Change your TV, change your life. Sharp.
It's the most heartwarming product placement movie of the year.
Rachel, you know what your problem is. You want everything. You want a husband, you want unlimited text, unlimited data, and unlimited calls.
Instinct, only from Sprint.
Someone got an email.
Featuring lightning-fast internet, voice-cued GPS navigation, and starring the Simply Everything plan from Sprint.
Why wouldn't I want everything for just $99.99 a month? Maybe you're afraid to be in love.
The new Samsung Instinct, only on the Now Network.
I think I'm falling in love. It's a challenge. For the phone.
Consistency pays off in business, travel, and baseball. Isn't that right, Cal?
That's right. What is Cal Ripken Jr. doing here?
Consistency earned him the nickname the Iron Man.
What will consistently staying at the Holiday Inn get me?
It could get you official MLB merchandise and tickets.
Could it get us all nicknames?
Like what?
Mrs. Ripken Jr.?
Bob. Snake Eyes?
Really?
The more you stay, the more you earn. Holiday Inn.
If you think all batteries are the same, consider this. It was a beautiful day in the park
Kevin, can you hand me
that turned to panic in an instant. And everything depended on a brick house child locator.
Kevin!
And packed inside every locator is the only battery brick house trusts, Duracell. So even if you hope you'll never have to use it, it still has to work. Duracell, trusted everywhere.
You know, I love baseball, even though I never watch it or play it. I just knew.
All new episodes of Frank TV, TBS Tuesday, starting October 21st.
Only on TBS. Very funny.
The MLB Division Series on TBS is brought to you by Verizon. Get your head in the game with sports clips, scores, stats, news, and more right on your Verizon wireless phone. Only on VCast from America's most entertaining network. Verizon Wireless. By State Farm. At home or away, State Farm is there. Call, click, or visit and start saving today. By Travelers, Insurance in Sync. And by Applebee's. It's a whole new neighborhood.
The celebration continues at Dodger Stadium as LA heads to the National League Championship Series. We know our schedule for Sunday. We're going to hit the air at 12:30, and then it's going to be Game 4 between the Phillies and the Brewers, followed by Game 3, Rays and White Sox, as Tampa looks for a sweep, and the Red Sox look for a sweep at home at 7 o'clock against the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim. Inside comes your way next.
Consistency pays off in business, travel, and baseball. Isn't that right, Cal?
That's right. What is Cal Ripken Jr. doing here?
Consistency earned him the nickname the Iron Man.
What will consistently staying at the Holiday Inn get me?
It could get you official MLB merchandise and tickets.
Could it get us all nicknames?
Like what?
Mrs. Ripken Jr.?
Bob. Snake Eyes?
Really?
The more you stay, the more you earn. Holiday Inn.
See the biggest names in comedy at Caesars Palace, Las Vegas, including Jerry, Ellen, Dane, Tracy, a celebrity roast of Cheech and Chong, and many more live. TBS presents the Comedy Festival, November 20th through the 22nd. Buy tickets now at thecomedyfestival.com.
TNT this January.
Deputy Chief Brinkley Johnson of the LAPD.
Kira Sedgwick returns with all new episodes of The Closer.
My elite team of detectives will stay entirely intact.
Followed by a bold new series from the team that brought you The Closer.
I've been carrying you for 7 years. You can't even write a single cell phone commercial. You carried me. I've been carrying you so long, I've got scoliosis.
Eric McCormick, Tom Cavanaugh.
You're like my brother. Not like my brother. He's a tool.
Trust me. Coming this January. Only on TNT.
Sometimes bad guys make the best good guys. We provide leverage.
Academy Award winner Timothy Hutton. Leverage, a daring new TNT series.
TBS is the home of the MLB postseason. The Dodgers dismantled Chicago at Wrigley, much to the dismay of the Cubs faithful. Facing a sweep, can the Cubs rally? Don't miss an exciting MLB postseason doubleheader. Next, Division Series coverage on TBS presented by BlackBerry.
We're in Studio J. We never close. It's Inside MLB, presented by Captain Morgan. And we thank you for sticking around. Ernie Johnson, Dennis Eckersley, Cal Ripken, Curtis Granderson. The Dodgers are in the NLCS. And you know what? Joe Torre had said after Game 2, Cal, we've been the better team the last 2 games. I can't say whether we're the better team, but I think after these 3 games, there is little doubt who was the better team in this series.
I mean, you can look at it a couple of ways. You can say that Chicago didn't play up to what they could play up to. They had some walks early, then they made some fielding miscues or whatever else. But you can't deny that right-handed dominant pitching against that right-handed power lineups. They were just flat out nasty, and they earned their way, and certainly they were the better team in this series.
Certainly. Curtis, how do you assess what you've seen out of these 3 games?
Get hot at the right time. That's exactly what the Dodgers did. That's all it takes. Win 3 at the most important time of the season, which is right now in the playoffs. And the big thing I'm trying to figure out is why the Cubs kept changing everything. 3 different lineups, blessing the dugout. I don't know what's going on. You didn't do that stuff during the regular season.
Well, I'd say more than anything, right-hand starting pitching, just like Cal said. And then two guys with big hits. You see a guy there, Martin, 5 RBIs, 3 doubles, a dinger. And then Loney, who won 2 games by himself, a grand slam. And you saw today's game a double off of Harden in the first inning. So that's 2 great big hits for them. But starting pitching, and then you saw Broxton at the end. Oh, my God, he throws hard. So you could see they could go a long ways with this pitching and, clutch hitting.
Yeah, and Cal, I think great points you make, because in game 1 it was too many walks, putting guys on base. Game 2, too many boots defensively. Game 3, missed opportunities. Man, they had runners on, 2 runners on in 4 separate innings and 5 innings, and could not push anybody across till late in the game. And that's why you see the guys in Dodger blue celebrating at Chavez Ravine. They are on their way to the National League Championship Series. If you're just joining us and say, boy, I sure would like to see the highlights of that game, we happen to have those handy right here. Lou Piniella and the guys trying to snap an 8-game postseason losing streak. And Rich Harden, hitters had been 2 for 38 in his 12 starts in the first inning. He gives up 3 hits in the first.
Yeah, go figure. I think it has a lot to do with the playoffs. You've seen all the way out throughout the playoffs, about half the pitchers have had bad first innings, and he had one tonight. Not a terrible one, but just enough to win this game.
Here's that man, James Loney.
Been hot the whole series with great left-handed bat. I think with so much being made about Manny Ramirez, what a great guy to step up, because no pressure on him.
Look at Manny coming all the way around from first to score.
Larry Boa, too.
Yeah, he did. Larry had a great look at that, and so it's 2-0. Meantime, Hiroki Kuroda has trouble in the first, third, and fourth. 2 guys on in each of those innings, gets out of it. Here in the 5th, gets Derek Lee swinging, and Lee unhappy. The helmet.
That says it all right there. It really does, because that guy never gets upset.
Now, Russell Martin. Man, just one of in the cast of characters for this Dodger team getting it done.
They did picking up a big run off Harden right there. I think Harden ran out of gas a little bit. He threw about 70 pitches, and then he just didn't seem to have him. They got him out of there, but not before they got the 3rd run.
Yeah, I was watching the radar gun. I was expecting to see the 95s or 96 from Hardens. I didn't see that too many tonight. His fastball was a little down or whatever else. Who knows why, but they caught up to it at the right time.
Soto goes down swinging. He gets Jim Edmonds there in the 6th inning. Now the Cubs with a threat in the 7th, and of all people, the guy that Lou Piniella didn't want to talk about anymore, Kosuke Fukudome, lines one to center. Corey Wade comes on in relief. First guy's going to face Alfonso Soriano.
A guy in the leadoff spot for the Cubs that just didn't get it done throughout the playoffs. He was trying his best to do it, but they were finding a way to outmatch him.
Swings at a first pitch breaking ball.
He's always an aggressive hitter. You can't fault him for swinging at the first pitch. He's hit those mistakes before. Had a good pass at that, a good swing at that, just didn't quite hit it.
And then Fontenot hits this ball on the screws, and Kemp makes a nice play on it. If that ball's hit anywhere else, this is a different game.
That's when you knew it's not meant to be, I think. Right. A line drive right there. There's their chance to get back in the game and score some runs, and right at them.
In the 8th, they do get on the board. Pinch hit single by Darrell Ward, and now it's a 3-1 game, and you think, hey, anything is possible here.
Don't even think about it. This guy, nasty blade. Are you kidding me? With a 99-mile-an-hour fastball, and then he's got that to boot. Forget about it.
That is Jonathan Broxton getting it done. Here it is, 0-2 the count, and Soriano.
How can you hold up? I mean, how can you hold up? You got no chance. 0-2, you're just waiting for this game to be over. And this guy might be on the mound for some bigger games in the future.
Well, he was touching 100, or almost at 100, and he was kept thinking he's got to throw that 100-mile-an-hour fastball one of these pitches. But
strikes out 3 of the 4 guys he faces, Cal, and just, I mean, I don't know how you go up the ladder. You go with Cheese and you go with Gas Masterson and all this other stuff. This guy was unbelievable as he shuts the door on the Cubs. 3-1 the final score. The NLCS awaits the Dodgers, and Tom Verducci of Sports Illustrated talking to Joe Torre after the game.
I'm here with Joe Torre. Joe, I have to take you back to that 8-game losing streak in August. You lost that Friday night game to Arizona, 5 games under 500. You're going to the National League Championship Series. How do you explain that turnaround?
Well, I mean, this ball club basically had to either face the fact that they were going to just completely melt away or do something about it. And to go out there, I thought that was I keep reminding these guys about that. You know, going out there and beating Heron and beating Webb on Saturday and Sunday in their ballpark. I thought that was a huge, huge get for us.
Now, the Cubs came in the highest scoring team in the National League this year. Was there something about this matchup you liked with your pitching staff to be able to shut them down?
Well, you know, they beat us 5 out of 7 during the season, but we were in every single game. And that's what made me feel that as long as we played our game, we can compete against them. Lou, there's a great deal of pressure, especially in Chicago, when you consider the fact that they have all this history that's sort of going against them and have to open at home. I think it was an advantage for us when we had to open there.
Now, for you, Joe, 12 years in New York, you changed leagues, you changed coasts, and here you are going to the National League Championship Series. How personally gratifying is that for you?
It is, because at my age, you never know when you leave the nest what you're going to get. But I'll tell you, these players responded, and this is about as satisfying as it gets.
Thanks, Joe.
Thanks, Tommy.
Back to you guys.
All right, thank you very much, Tom Verducci. You look at this Dodger team. The guy I keep looking at, obviously Manny you look at, but Rafael Furcal in that leadoff spot. They missed so much of the season without him because he had the back surgery. If he had been there the whole year, this may not have even been a race coming down this. They may have sewn that thing up a long time ago. This is a pretty powerful team. Now, if you're going to take on the Phillies or the Brewers in the next round, are they going to be favored against either of those teams?
Well, I mean, as hot as they are right now and they're playing, I mean, for Kyle, I wasn't sure whether Joe was going to put him in there right away, and I wasn't sure if he was going to have success. Defensively and offensively, he's a spark plug. And so certainly that gives them another dimension in their offense to go along with Manny and the clutch hittings as well. So you'd have to consider them to be the favorite.
Not many weaknesses on that team. You look at the starting pitching, the relief pitching, the defense, and the clutch, timely hitting, Kurt.
It's amazing. That's a complete team. That's what you want to see in the playoffs around that time. Like you mentioned with Furcal, he's doing a great job. Whether his back is sore or whatnot, he's going to go out there, find a way to do it, because he knows once he gets to the rest of the offseason, he can go ahead and rest and relax, hopefully with a championship ring on his finger.
Heck, meantime, on the Chicago side, I mean, you look at the numbers. Soriano, 1 for 14. Ramirez, 2 for 11. Soto, 2 for 10. The guys they need to produce, not producing. And, I mean, what does this do to Chicago?
I don't know. I mean, because they had the best record in the game, does it mean that they were the best team? I mean, anybody could win a 5-game series, and this is what happened. They were behind. The only game they were ahead was a 2-run home run by DeRosa in the first game. And after that, the grand slam by Loney, everything went downhill after that. They started the second game 5 runs down because they had a bad inning and a lot of errors and what have you. And tonight, first inning, Harden goes out there and gives up 2 runs. And to a guy like Kuroda and the way they've been pitching and the way it's hard for them to create something. I think there's a lot of pressure on the hitters. You saw it from Lee when he threw down the helmet. I mean, there's pressure here, and it's hard. You know, during the season, it's like if I lose this game, it's no big deal. But if you lose this game, you're going home, and I think that has a lot to do with it.
Result of just your support all year long. I can't tell you how much we appreciate it. Just don't go away. We'll be back next week. Because we still have 8 more games to win.
You never see that.
Well, the celebration continuing as Joe Torre addresses that sellout crowd at Chavez Ravine as the Dodgers head to the National League Championship Series. And to hear Joe say the World Series also, it takes 8 more wins. You had to put into perspective Chicago's season, and Cal, I know you wanted to weigh in on that.
No, I was just going to say that Ron Darling made a really good point towards the end of that game, and he said it looks like the hitters are trying to hit that home run, like when it's an extra inning game, to actually get that walk-off homer. When you're pressing, you're just that much out of how you swing the bat. And by getting ahead, by the Dodgers getting ahead, it made their offense relax a little bit, but it put a little bit more pressure on the offense for the Cubs.
Final score, Dodgers 3, Cubs 1. It's a 3-game sweep. Their first sweep since 1963 when they beat the Yankees, and first playoff win since '88. When we come back, the Brewers trying to stave off elimination. The Phillies in search of their first series sweep ever. I'll give you a little hint. They're playing a Game 4 tomorrow. Yes.
Temperatures and
couple of weeks, he's having problems with his pitching elbow, and team doctors want him to sit a few games.
high pressure system continues to sit over the area, and that's going to mean more.
Once you've dealt with the things that come between you, don't let erectile dysfunction get in the way. Viagra. Viagra, America's most prescribed ED treatment, can help you enjoy a more satisfying sexual experience. To learn more, spend some quality time with Viagra.com. Ask your doctor if your heart is healthy enough for sex. Don't take Viagra if you take nitrates for chest pain, as it may cause an unsafe drop in blood pressure. Side effects may include headache, flushing, upset stomach, and abnormal vision. To avoid long-term injury, seek immediate medical help for an erection lasting more than 4 hours. Stop taking Viagra and call your doctor right away if you experience a sudden decrease in vision or hearing. Now's the time. Ask your doctor if Viagra is right for you.
Do you trust your coworkers? Yes, you do, so just let go. Okay, what did we learn there? Is there such a thing as personal space? No, there isn't, because we are all molecules in the same organism.
American Airlines.
Yeah, I need an earlier flight out of Chicago. I feel like some of you don't respect me.
But because,
Because of the hat? Just get me on the next flight out. Hey, Rachel.
Hi.
We know why you fly.
Just made it.
We're American Airlines.
Inside MLB is brought to you by Captain Morgan. Got a little captain in you? Play it safe and don't go overboard. Party responsibly. Captain Morgan.
We welcome you back. Brewers looking for their first win in the postseason since '82. Saw Robin Yount, who's the bench coach. There's Bob Uecker, longtime voice of the Brewers. And you see Prince Fielder with the sacrifice fly. And so the Brewers get on the board right away against Jamie Moyer and J.J. Hardy.
Big two-out hit right there. J.J. had some numbers off of Jamie coming into that game. They've been stranding that runner on. He got a big hit right there. That 2 runs was really big in the first inning.
Yeah, Moyer had given up a couple of walks the first 2 hitters he faced. Hasn't done that in about 11 years.
Must have thrown 70 pitches the first 2 innings. Lucky he'd only be 2-0.
Jason Worth goes down swinging against Dave Bush. And then look at J.J. Hardy flagging down the line drive from Shane Victorino. So it's still 2-0 Brewers.
They go to the bullpen. They get Condrey out there early. You know, 5th inning, he's in the game, 2-0 game. He goes out there and promptly gives them a run.
Mike Cameron, a much more effective game from the leadoff spot, going first to third there.
Got walks, got himself on base, put pressure on the defense right there. A big play to test Victorino out there in center field right there.
And able to score on the sacrifice fly. And now it's a 3-0 game, Milwaukee. Meantime, Bush again going to work, and this looks like a great catch by Corey Hart.
It really does. He smashes into the fence right here. He just cannot hang on. When he hits the ground right there, the ball rolls out. I still thought he caught that ball, but I don't exactly know what the rule is. Meanwhile, he's got a triple on this play, but a real nice catch, just could not hold on to it.
Looked like he still had it if he hadn't done the roll at the end.
I guess you have to have control forever, obviously.
Got to come up and show the umps that you have the baseball.
They're going to get on the board as Mitch Stetter comes on to the pitch and coaxes the ground ball out of Ryan Howard.
Somehow, some way, just get that RBI in, and Ryan Howard did that. It wasn't too far of a shot, but he just got the infield ground ball to go ahead and get that run across.
Bottom of the 7th, clutch hit here from Jason Kendall, Cal.
Yeah, I was going to question, Scott Ear was still in the game facing him out there. He's a pesky hitter, fights the ball off early in the game, whatever else. That's a big hit right there, big insurance run.
Now in the 9th, it got interesting.
This game is getting away from Torres right there. Bases loaded, nobody out, and then this play.
What is Shane Victorino thinking as he goes in without sliding to break up the double play.
I don't think he had football flashbacks or by any means going in there or whatever else. He was thinking about breaking it up. It looked like he didn't get his feet quite right for a slide or something, and then just aborted at the end and ran into him. Unfortunate, because that's an interference call.
It is, and because the runners had not scored and gotten to third, they have to go back, and then the last out here is made with the tying run at the plate, Carlos Ruiz.
And Torres is excited because not so much that he did a good job, he's just glad this thing didn't get away from him.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? Bases loaded, nobody out?
Yeah, he gives up 3 straight hits to start the ninth, and all of a sudden it's, uh-oh, look out, and then Victorino. I mean, credit Dale Swaim, too, because the umpire made the call, but it was Swaim who came out and said, I don't believe that run that you thought scored can, so they sent the runners back.
I played the game a long time in the middle of the infield. Many times that happened to me, but I didn't know the rule. I didn't know what. I assumed the run counted. Give someone credit in that dugout for figuring that out and bringing those guys back to the base.
Brewers win it 4-1 to stay alive. More from David Aldridge.
With their season on the line, the Brewers gave the ball to Dave Bush, who grew up a Phillies fan just outside of Philadelphia. He was heartbroken when the Phillies lost the 1993 World Series. But 15 years later, Bush's excellent start in Game 3 made sure to spread the misery around the city of brotherly love.
He throws a good curveball. He was able to spot his fastball, and we had some good swings on him, and he had a lot of atom balls, but ultimately kept us from getting on the scoreboard.
When he's on, it makes it very difficult. He was able to do that to us today. He was able to keep us off balance and really, I think, mix up his pitches and keep us off balance when we had those opportunities to score and make big pitches. I mean, that's what it comes down to, either side. You either make pitches or you don't, and he made some really good pitches today.
What did I personally see? I saw a lot of off-speed, change-ups, a couple curves, mixed it up. He mixed it up nice. He's got that 69-mile-per-hour curveball. It's kind of tough to hit, whether you're right-handed or left-handed. But he mixed it up nice and kind of kept us off balance, and we were hitting the balls right at guys.
The Brewers may be shorthanded going into Game 4. Second baseman Ricky Weeks strained the meniscus tendon in his knee running down the first base line early in Game 3 and was replaced by Craig Counsell. Weeks will be here early Sunday morning, about 8 a.m., to try and loosen out his knee and see if he can go in a crucial season-saving game for the Brewers. That's the story here in Milwaukee. Back to you.
All right, thank you very much, D.A. When you look at this game, kudos to the Brewers hitters for patience, a very aggressive hitting team. And you're facing Jamie Moyer, and you guys all talked about it in the pregame show, that you've got to see what he's got. You got to take a few pitches. You got to make him throw strikes. He walks the first 2 guys in a game for the first time since 1997 today.
Well, I think he would have done that before that. It's easy to do, but he didn't look good at all the first couple innings, missing with everything, nibbling as he always does. But they just, like you said, they were very, very patient. And they finally got across these 2 runs. He makes a good pitch. Sooner or later, he's going to make a good pitch. They move up the runners here, and he's going to get Braun out. And you're thinking he might be able to get out of this inning, but he didn't. He gave up a sac fly and a base hit, so it was 2-0. They took advantage of it at least.
They still minimized the 2 runs in that inning, whatever else, did a nice job. It's kind of funny. You look at pitchers in playoff situations and you think they're going to be really high. I think he was the opposite of that. He was really low, didn't get his rhythm, didn't get his mechanics up and running and speed the way that he does. And then he just started to get it, and then they pulled him out of the game.
Which I thought might have been the wrong thing to do. Who knows? We'll never know. But didn't you think they shouldn't have pitched hit for him in the 5th inning early?
I thought it was a little early. It was in the 5th inning of the game, guy on first base, 1 out. They put Matt Stairs in, burned him right there to try to get a run. Maybe Charlie took a chance of saying, okay, let's get back in this game now.
Just missed him, though.
I would have liked to seen him stay in or whatever else. By bringing him out early, it stretched the bullpen out a little bit, and I think a couple of those insurance runs weren't the right matchups that Charlie wanted.
So Moyer goes 4 innings, 4 hits, 2 runs, both earned. Meantime, on the Milwaukee side with the bats, J.J. Hardy gets it going today. Curtis, 3 out of 4 on RBI and scores a run. But, you look at that leadoff spot, and in talking to a leadoff hitter, you look at Mike Cameron, who has really struggled in the series in the first 2 games, and he gets on base today. Couple of walks, gets hit by a pitch, scores twice. He was doing what a leadoff man's got to do.
Just get on base any way you can, like you said, getting hit by a pitch, going up there, getting some walks. I know, Cal, you mentioned as well, too. He's a big, powerful guy out there. But he doesn't have to go ahead and get a home run right there. Just find a way to get on base, let that speed work to his advantage. He went 1st to 3rd on a great play, probably a tough read for most guys to go ahead and make that play. And a great arm by Shane Victorino out there to make it bang, bang. But he's safe at third base, put himself in scoring position to allow his team to get on the board.
The Brewers are still hanging in there. They win it 4-1 to force Game 4. They'll play it at 1 o'clock Eastern Time here on TBS tomorrow. We'll be back with more here on Inside MLB, presented by Captain Morgan. Take a look at that Red Sox-Angels Game 3 coming up, and that great postseason pitcher Josh Beckett ready to go.
TNT this January.
Deputy Chief Brentley Johnson of the LAPD.
Kira Sedgwick returns with all new episodes of The Closer.
My elite team of detectives will stay entirely intact.
Followed by a bold new series from the team that brought you The Closer.
I've been carrying you for 7 years. You can't even write a single cell phone commercial. You carried me. I've been carrying you so long, I've got scoliosis.
Eric McCormick, Tom Cavanaugh.
You're like my brother. Not like my brother. He's a tool.
Trust Me, coming this January, only on TNT.
I got Eve.
Socket, devil, rabbit.
Let's do this.
I'm almost there.
All right, you ready? Let's go.
Wow.
This is too weird.
Totally random.
They've got a little captain in them. Got a little captain in you. Drink responsible.
4 cars and 2 kids later, Kate still gets animated about her auto insurance with Esurance.
I was a little too animated when I had a fender bender, but Esurance was there for me. Esurance hooked me up with a great body shop. They took care of me from start to finish.
And through certified shops and Esurance's direct repair network, you can monitor repairs online 24/7.
It's like watching your car come back to life. No wonder so many drivers are drawn to Esurance Auto Insurance.
Oh. Got a little captain in you. Drink responsibly.
From TNT and the producer of Independence Day, the first 2 movies blew you away. Now the final chapter of The Librarian begins. All the action, all the danger.
Kill them both.
All the romance belongs to one man.
Sorry.
The protector of the world's greatest secrets is back with an all-new adventure.
The Judas Chalice.
Noah Wiley, The Librarian, Curse of the Judas Chalice.
It's rented.
This December, only on TNT.
See the biggest names in comedy at Caesars Palace, Las Vegas, including Jerry, Ellen, Dane, Tracy, a celebrity roast of Cheech and Chong, and many more live. TBS presents the Comedy Festival, November 20th through the 22nd. Buy tickets now at thecomedyfestival.com.
Back here on Inside MLB, presented by Captain Morgan. Tomorrow's schedule once again. We hit the air at 12:30 Eastern Time. Phillies and Brewers, followed by the Rays and the White Sox, and then the Angels and the Red Sox. Boston looking for the sweep and sending Josh Beckett, who's been bothered by an oblique problem recently, to the mound. How's he feeling? Here's Tito.
I don't know if I doubt if he's 100%. I don't know that anybody is. He threw the ball really, really well. I don't think we would pitch him if there was a worry. I don't know that it's fair to say he's 100%, but we also wouldn't pitch him if there was a big worry.
Well, I think we all, we were all preparing for Sunday the whole time. Even right after it happened, the day after it happened, and the soreness was probably at its peak. That's what we were preparing for. I think that we were all pretty optimistic. I mean, we got a pretty good staff of doctors, and generally whenever they tell you and keep reiterating the same thing, you start to believe it.
I just want to know how you're feeling with the side and everything.
I'm fine.
You heard him. He's fine. Okay, there has been a complete Red Sox dominance in this series with the Angels. 11 straight postseason wins versus the Angels. Where does that enter the the psyche of a team, Cal? Can you ignore that? Can you get collective amnesia, as Torrey Hunter has suggested you have to do?
It's a nice idea to get it, but it's not like the history of the Cubs 100 years ago, whatever else. This is recent history. The same guys on the team have gone through it. You know, you have to have some hope when you go in, and I think that hope was kind of taken away the way that they came back in that game when they hit a home run off of when J.D. Drew hit the home run off of K-Rod at the end of the game. I think they snatched some of the hope, and that kind of lingers going back into Fenway.
You know, Eck, if you're Josh Beckett and you're coming off an injury, is there uncertainty as you take? Is it in the back of your mind? Are you seeing, okay, let me see how this feels? Oh, there's a little twinge.
I think with a guy like that, I mean, it'd be different if it was Jamie Moyer and he went out there, he'd be certain that he's going to be fine. But this guy throws the ball as hard as he can throw the ball. So for him to say he's okay, you know, you've got to let it go. And he torques the ball so much. And you know, earlier this year he had the problem with the elbow, like I said, tingling in his arm. And he was worried about it. So he went to the doctor to find out and made sure that he felt better. And that it made his head feel better and not going to do anything wrong. So I think from that experience that he had earlier this season, a month ago, he's for sure, for me, he's going to be ready to pitch because he wouldn't if he couldn't.
Yeah. Why is Boston up 2-0 in this series in your mind, Curtis?
I mean, they've been doing a lot of great things for the starting pitching. Dice K last night ended up doing a great job out there in Anaheim, going on the road, continuing to pick up another victory, getting hits off fastballs, getting hits on off-speed pitches. Doesn't matter if it's a starter or if it's the reliever. They're coming up with timely hitting throughout the course of the game. Great defense, Cal, you've talked about that. They've been doing a bunch of complete stuff. That's what it all comes down to in the postseason.
And last night they get the dramatics with J.D. Drew going yard off of a K-Rod. Let's talk about him a little bit. 62 saves. But what is it? I mean, game 2 last year, it was Manny who took him for a long ride. Go through what K-Rod brings to the table and what the Red Sox are seeing out of him.
Well, the thing about K-Rod, where he's different than he used to be, is this changeup that he has, you know, and that's what he's been getting away with a lot of, you know, outings for. You know, before you used to think this guy's nothing but 95 and a hook off the table. But he came out last night, a double off the wall by Ortiz before this at bat to Euclid, and he doesn't want the runner to get over, so you know he's going to go to something different. He throws a couple of changeups, a hook, and he throws another hook right here, and he keeps him hitting the ground ball, which could be a bit of pitching, but all these pitches are off speed, curveballs and changeups. He throws his only fastball right there to J.D. Drew, a fastball in, he shows it to him, 1-0, and then he goes to work on changeups, 85 down and away. Changeup down and away, 87, a little too hard, that changeup down middle, a little too hard too, and another one too hard, bad location, 87. That is like a BP fastball, and he crushes this ball right here. And what to me, what you look at is the fact that this is your guy that's a power guy, and he goes out there and throws nothing but curveballs and changeups. I know he's got a good changeup, but last night I think he just went to the well one too many times. And location is everything, too. It doesn't matter what kind of pitch you throw, but if you throw it in the wrong spot, which he did, and he hit it out.
And what have you seen from him when he comes in to close it down? What do you see when you're coming to the plate?
Well, I definitely remember last year, like you said, fastball, curveball. You knew exactly what you're going to get. Now you step in there from the left-handed side of the box. This year, all of a sudden he's throwing a changeup. You're asking your hitting coach, did he start developing that this year? Now all of a sudden you're thinking, okay, he's got 3 pitches now. You get a little off whack, but when you're J.D. Drew and you keep throwing it, I'm going to get a little smart up there and sit on it like he did and hit a home run to center field.
Well, the changeup can be the equalizer. I think that's what James calls it down in Tampa. But you know, when you do make a mistake, it does go a really, really long way. When you get it up in the strike zone, it goes a long way.
Angels are going to send Joe Saunders to the mound tomorrow. Finished the year strong. Last 15 innings scoreless, and he started the season 6-0. Finished it up 17-7. So they hope Joe Saunders is on. In fact, he beat Josh Beckett earlier this year in a matchup. And they're the pitchers tomorrow in Game 3. We'll be back after this.
I've had asthma for 17 years.
I've had asthma for 24 years.
For 5 years. All my life.
Even with my medicine, my symptoms kept coming back.
So I thought this was as good as it gets. Until I found out I could actually help prevent my symptoms.
I could help prevent my symptoms.
Turns out there are two main causes of asthma symptoms. Airway constriction I feel, and inflammation I may not. Most medicines don't treat both. So my doctor prescribed Advair.
Advair treats both main causes to help prevent symptoms in the first place.
Advair contains salmeterol. Salmeterol may increase the chance of asthma-related death. So Advair is not for asthma that's well controlled on another controller medicine. Advair will not replace fast-acting inhalers for sudden symptoms and should not be taken more than twice a day. Talk to your doctor about the risks and benefits of Advair. If you take Advair, see your doctor if your asthma does not improve or gets worse. If you're still having symptoms, ask your doctor how to help prevent them with Advair. Find out how to get your first full prescription free at advair.com.
Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. What are you doing? Put the jug down. Put it down. This one's cheaper. Listen, your engine's the last place you want to skimp, right? I mean, you want to go with the leader, the one America's counted on for over 80 years. Kind you can put in any make or model. Get it? Got it. Good. Let's go, Sparky. Okay.
When it comes to antifreeze, you're in a car guy knows. Only Prestone is Prestone.
Nice. Look here.
I'm an astrophysicist, a stargazer. But here's something cosmic I discovered on Earth. Sharp Solar. Their vision of a clean, solar-powered world began with their solar cells in a lighthouse in 1966. Since then, they have provided more solar energy around the globe than anyone else. From wineries to space satellites. From a lighthouse to your house. Change your power, change your planet. Sharp.
It's the American League Division Series. The Young Rays will be attending their first postseason party. Rays win! Longoria, Upton, Pena, they never stop believing. Oh boy! They'll meet the South Side.
The White Sox are going to the playoffs.
Cabrera, Dye, Jr., and a team that has their own style.
Home Run City!
White Sox Rays, you're invited.
Start the celebration!
There's only one October.
This is where the end of cancer begins. Stand up with all of us. Stand up to cancer.
Back here on Inside MLB, presented by Captain Morgan. The Dodgers 3-1 winners over the Cubs. The big hit in the first inning provided by James Loney. Run-scoring double, scored a couple. They were up 2-0. They win it 3-1. And after the game, Tom Verducci was with James Loney.
James, two huge game-changing hits in this series. The grand slam in game one tonight, the double in the first inning, 2 out hits in the series. Tell us your approach in those situations and the double tonight.
Yeah, I was trying to get something up, make him come to me, and fortunately got one up, and Russell came in and put some extra on there. So.
I have to bring it back to August 29th. You lost 8 straight games, 5 games under 500, 4.5 games out of first place, and now you're going to the National League Championship Series. How do you explain that?
It's a crazy season. I mean, it's been up and down all year for us, but we battled. We've been through a lot, and it's definitely fun to clinch it here at home. So.
And what can you say about the job that your pitchers did shutting down this Cubs offense that was #1 in the league in runs scored this year?
I mean, it just shows how resilient our team is. Fighting, coming back all year, and our pitching's been outstanding this series, and it's definitely fun.
Thanks, James. Back to you guys.
All right, thank you, Tom. And they did outscore them 20-6 in the series, and now they wait for either Philadelphia or Milwaukee. And you see the head-to-heads there during the regular season for what they are worth, because you look at the Cubs and Dodgers, and Cubs won the season series, and this one goes 3-0 LA over Chicago. Speaking of the Cubs, how about Lou Piniella's post-game thoughts?
Take advantage of it. Now, this is 6 games now that I've managed in postseason, and we've scored 12 runs. That doesn't get it done. I mean, I'm not making excuses, but you got to score some runs. And this team here, we're in postseason for whatever reason. I haven't seen it.
What does this do to a very good season where you won 97?
What does it do to it? What does it do to it? Makes me play the part of a good a congratulator. Congratulate the Dodgers for their success and wish them well. I don't know what it does for our season. I mean, we were expecting more. We were expecting more when We left spring training. We played well during the summer. We won our division convincingly, and we thought that we would go further into this postseason. But again, you know, we scored 3, 2, and 1. 6 runs in 3 games. You do that during the season, you're 0-3 the same way you do in postseason. So I've seen it now for 6 games, and we look. All I know is you got to score more runs than we score to win. And if you don't, you can pitch well, you can play well, you can talk about anything you want, but the bottom line is, unless you get shut out, you're going to lose.
As frustrated as you are.
I'm not frustrated, sir. I'm not frustrated.
And that is the confounding thing about this game of baseball, is it not? You can have all of these weapons at your disposal, and you can have all these guys potentially who can really get it done and carry you. And if everybody kind of goes cold at the same time and nobody can get the clutch hit, or if somebody boots a ball they normally make a play on.
You know, every team that I played for, some good teams I played for in the past, and we got to the playoffs and we didn't do well, that season is washed out. It is. You could take all those wins all you want. Maybe you'd feel a little better if you gave it a little better chance. You didn't get wiped out 3-0. You know, I lost 2 World Series games, got swept once, and lost to the Dodgers once 4-1. And it was like we didn't do anything. And I thought we had the best team. I thought we had the best team going in. So I could feel his frustration, you know, because especially with the Cubs, my goodness. I mean, 100 years, you can't get around that. You just can't.
I think there could be an empty feeling inside us, but you don't want to discount the great year that they had. You know, many times when you look at the Braves or whatever else, and the Braves winning 14 straight division titles and not having but 1 World Series, they're not a failure of an organization. They're a good, solid baseball organization, and you should still celebrate and reward that or whatever else. It is empty. It's going to be empty for a little while, but still look at it. It's a really good accomplishment to win the way they did.
Especially, Curtis, when you look around your dugout at your teammates and say, I know this guy can do this, or boy, I see him in this situation. This is what's going to get us back in the game. Oh, didn't happen again.
The scary thing about baseball is it's so contagious, both good and bad. You look at the game where they made the errors. Everybody in the infield made an error. When does that happen? You look at the offense. When is the last time that both Lee and Soriano and Ramirez all don't hit? So everything goes in cycles throughout the course of the game. Then you look at the reverse side. Everybody on the